we're just gonna get underway then.
Okay.
So, I will lay us our first scene. Twilight falls, and a single small yacht drifts amidst the waves and the rain. A man clings to the railing, reaching with vain hope towards the glow of the Atlantic City boardwalk that lingers at the edge of the horizon before another kick sends him sprawling across the deck. Beaten and bloody, the man nevertheless stares in defiant silence at the two masked figures who loom over him. Stubborn old man. One presses his foot down on the man's already twisted and bruised ankle, eliciting a cry of pain. We've been going easy on yous until now. You keep giving us the silent treatment. We might have to break you proper. Play nice, give us the information we want. And we might just let you walk away in one piece. The man's eyes, momentarily clouded with pain, refocus on his tormentors. Did you think me a fool? If you had any intention of letting me live through the night, we wouldn't be a mile out at sea. The remark earns him another kick, this time to the side of his head. Enough. The next kick is stopped in midair as a third cloaked figure emerges from the cabin. The two in masks turn and each falls to one knee as the figure half walks, half glides across the ground. I will ask you myself, for the last time, where is the other one? I have nothing to say to the likes of you. You two have done a miserable job of breaking his spirit. The two flunkies exchange glances, then lower themselves even further. Forgive us! Or perhaps I should compliment you, says the leader, looking down at the man slumped against the railing. Your fortitude lives up to your reputation. I can see these men's crude interrogation techniques will yield nothing, so I will have to use mine instead. They produce a small crystal goblet from beneath the folds of their cloak, and, reaching over the side of the boat, they fill it with seawater. Hold him down. The two masked men quickly rise and grab their prisoner, dragging him across the deck and restraining him. Suddenly, all three begin to writhe as a horrible, unearthly screech emerges from beneath the leader's hood. As they hold the goblet in their hands, it begins to ring and almost crack under the assault of the sound as the water within it unnaturally dances and swirls. Finally, after a seeming eternity, the cacophony fades away into the night, leaving only the sound of the rain. The prisoner lies stunned on the deck of the boat, and his captors are little better off, slumped bodily on top of him with their hands clasped over their ears. The leader stoops down to the man's head, turns it to the side, and begins to pour the water into his ear. The water drains from the goblet, and somehow it continues to echo faintly with the awful wailing noise, even as it snakes into the man's head. Instantly, his eyes open, He begins to thrash violently as the still dazed men in masks try to pin him down. Then come the screams. His whole body convulses and he begins to weep uncontrollably. Water streams first from his eyes, then from his ears and nose, and finally from his mouth as his face freezes in a rictus of agony. The crystal goblet catches some of the water streaming from him and is then drawn into the leader's hood. They sip it quietly as the man's screams taper off and he dies on the deck of the boat, water pooled around him and his eyes hauntingly fixed on the night sky. Setting the goblet down on the railing, the leader is momentarily lost in thought. His memories are too vague. I cannot see the pattern clearly, but I see Philadelphia, a woman. So that's where it is. The flunkies grab the man's dead body and heave it overboard with a splash. Then expectantly stand at attention, which I can't do because the pivot thing is blocked by the stupid color icons. There we go. Make for shore, says the leader. They turn something over in their hands, and as they do, moonlight glints off of solid gold. It won't be long now. The year is 1921. The world has emerged from the horrors of the Great War, yet its scars linger still. In the United States, prohibition has fueled the rise of gangsters, bootleggers, and all manner of unsavory dealings. In Europe, the dark undercurrents of fascism are beginning to rise. Russia and China are in chaos, and much of the world remains under the sway of colonial powers. And those are just the things you can read about in the papers. There are just as many unseen dangers rippling beneath the surface. All over the globe, dark shadows grasp towards the hearts of the brave, their every intent to silence the hope of a new century. One organization stands in their way, the Century Club. A globe-spanning organization dedicated to philanthropy, peacemaking, and the promotion of the arts and sciences. The Century Club has existed for hundreds of years and is rumored to be far older even than that. It counts influential men and women from all over the world among its members, many publicly and some secretly. The veil of mystery over many of its operations places the club at the center of many wild theories. Perhaps none so wild as the rumor that the true power in the club is a circle of high-ranking members known as the Centurions, whose existence is kept a closely guarded secret even from the other members. It's said these Centurions were born on the first day of a new century, exceptional individuals fated with the potential to shape the coming century for good or ill. Of course, such rumors are as fanciful as they are inevitable. Nevertheless, our story begins with an exceptional individual indeed. It's May in Atlantic City, a fine time and place to vacation. Take a stroll down the boardwalk, enjoy some saltwater taffy, or perhaps visit an old friend. A small red car pulls up alongside this row of townhouses, and out steps a woman. Monica Gelato is here to visit an acquaintance of hers, well, a friend, a scientist of no small repute, who happens to have a home in Atlantic City for the nice months of the year. And if you want to do any narration here, Civ, feel free.
Was I driving?
Yes, you were. I hope you were. Otherwise, how did your car get here?
Uh-oh! When she gets out of the car, she kind of does a little hop and looks at the side of it and kind of inspects around, makes sure there's no specks of dirt or grime or anything that might have accumulated on her way down here. She runs a hand along the front of it. Perfect. Okay. Now, Was it number 33 or 30? No, 34 would be on the other side of the street, wouldn't it? Oh, this is so confusing. No, it should be this one, the one with the green door. Yes, okay. So she walks up to the door.
Head on in.
Does a little...
With her forehead.
There's a answer from within after a few moments. Coming! And a few moments later, the door is opened, and there's a young man with a very fashionable and well-groomed mustache there to greet you and show you inside.
Hello!
Miss Gelato, very nice to see you again. Why don't you come on in? I've got some company I'm entertaining already.
Oh, I would love to, of course.
And he shows you inside, Monica. You know, this man is Hubert Kraft. He is a scientist in primarily the field of biology, and very, very well respected. He is his name is on some of the most cutting-edge papers in the scientific community. Yeah, he's well respected in his craft, so to speak. He shows you into the parlor.
She kind of,
yeah.
As he leads her in, she's kind of like looking around at every bit of furniture and just like all of the furnishings and things in this home, just kind of like,
Yes, this place only gets used a few months a year, so we have to do quite a bit to keep it in tip-top shape. He as he walks by, he briefly raises an eyebrow and brushes a little dust off the arm of a chair. Please come in. As he shows you into the room, there's another man standing and looking at some of the books on the shelf, who turns as soon as you enter. Hubert, you'll come back for... Oh, well, goodness, no, don't tell, He holds out a single finger and stares at you, Monica. Don't tell me, I want to, you must be... Monica Gelato, yes?
in the flesh. Hello. I don't seem to recognize you.
Where are my manners? Forgive me. He rushes around the table and shakes your hand excitedly. Professor Perry Pyson, marine biologist and mechanologist. Although I'm thinking about changing that title. I was just talking this over with Hubie. So Hubert, I'm not sure I actually got your opinion. My opinion on what, Perry? Well, you see, it's a dreadfully complex problem. Much more difficult than any I've encountered in quite some time. When I introduce myself to people as a marine biologist and mechanologist, what I mean is that I am a marine biologist and a marine mechanologist. But I'm afraid what they're hearing is a marine biologist and unrelatedly a mechanologist, which is simply not true, and I would never dream of advertising academic credentials I haven't earned. Simply frightful. Oh, goodness. He moves to sit down on this chair in the corner and catches himself before sitting down on a large gray dog that's sort of napping there. Oh, goodness. What a frightfully large dog, but I must say, frightfully well behaved. I didn't even notice he was here. Hubie, you didn't tell me you had a dog. Well, it's, it's relatively rare that we entertain here, and I know that some people are a bit shy around them. So I figured, that I didn't want to worry you. Oh, worried? Not at all. It was the cutest little... He approaches this almost wolf-like proportioned dog and scratches it under basically under its mouth. It's the goodest boy. The goodest boy, yes indeed.
Do I know?
Oh, you know.
She is sitting coyly in the chair with her legs crossed, just leaning back, smiling and waiting.
Excuse me, sir. That is most unnecessary. I apologize. I was just in the middle of taking a small nap.
Hubert kind of rubs his forehead with his hand.
Yes.
Hubie, you never told me that your prowess with biology had extended to imbuing such an animal with human intelligence.
Yes, Hubie, you did not.
I can't seem to agree that your method of introduction is maybe quite proper. It's quite entertaining, yes, but...
My apologies. I was napping. Dr. Pison, correct?
Oh, Professor, but it's of
Professor.
no matter. It's of no matter at all.
Yes.
What shall I call you, oh magnificent beast?
Dr. Carl Blake.
Hubie, you didn't tell me you sent the dog to school. That's not something one tells one, you know?
Yes. Well, this is all well and good. For the record, I believe that the two separate titles, marine biologist and marine mechanologist, would suffice just fine, in my professional opinion.
Well, I shall certainly take your unique perspective into account. Goodness me, Hubie, this is simply earth-shattering. Why have you not written a paper on this?
Because I have. I just haven't managed to publish them yet. You see, Professor, I was not born in this state. I was born like any other man, through any other means. C-section, most likely.
A very
however,
modern procedure.
Indeed. And so, it was only by my own hand that I was given this flesh.
Well, this is a lot.
To see if it could be done, first of all, and second of all, because it made me more comfortable. You see, I was quite a rambunctious boy in my youth. I spent many of my days outside admiring nature, and I sought to get closer to that. Now, granted, it hasn't come without its complications. No thumbs, as you see. However, I have adapted quite well.
Pison takes off his hat and kind of fluffs it against his hand a couple times. Well, goodness me. That's... I don't know what to say. I'm so glad that your experiment came out berries. Otherwise, I can only imagine what dangerous fate might have awaited you.
Well, we live in a new age. Nothing is impossible in the 1900s.
Indeed. Oh, you know, that reminds me, speaking of nothing impossible, goodness me, I'd almost forgotten the primary reason I came to visit dear Hubie. So, I have a mutual friend, perhaps it's possible you may have met him. I have a mutual friend through the club. His name is Raymond Peake, and he is one of the foremost explorers of the darkest and most dangerous recesses of our world. So, Ray likes to
You
run
mean
off,
Wall
and...
Street?
I'm sorry?
I get lost there all the time. I'm sorry, keep going.
Well, you see, he spent a while in, goodness, I believe Central Asia, down to the Cape of Good Hope, and I believe he spent the past 9 months or so in the Andes somewhere, and just a few days ago, I received a most extraordinary letter from him. He's made something of a hot discovery, it would seem. He mentioned something that would shake the historical consensus on the Inca civilization to its core. Now, between you and me, dear Raymond does tend to overestimate the significance of his discoveries, but he seemed quite certain this time. So much so, he said he was going to cut his expedition short and come back here to confer with some experts and dear friends, I should hope. He straightens his bow tie. So, I've arranged with him, well, he offered to me a special little sneak peek of an exhibit that he plans to open up at the Philadelphia Museum of Art soon. I was actually wondering if you would be interested in tagging along to see what he's found. It sounds simply fascinating. And, well, I know that you have a love of all fields of knowledge, Hubert. You're a true Renaissance man. And a Renaissance dog as well, it would seem, and a Renaissance lady. Such wonderful company. I would be honored if you would pop up there with me sometime while you're on vacation here.
Well, that sounds lovely. I myself have done a number of excursions in the South American region. He thinks back, and I would be open to any sort of unique discovery that might shed some light on the ancient cultures thereof.
South America. Now, isn't it quite warm there?
It is indeed.
I'll have to buy a new dress. I'll have to buy several new dresses. I don't know how I'm going to handle that. Haven't been there yet. Couldn't have been any warmer than the desert. Oh, but it's much more humid, though, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
And the bugs, the wildlife. Oh, the wildlife. I would love to go. Oh, wait, but we're not going down there just yet.
Well, it's, it's possible, I'm sure. When he's gotten whatever he wanted to get checked out here, I'm positive with his level of enthusiasm that he'll be back down in the Andes lickety-split.
Regardless, I will follow him myself.
Lovely. And, on the off chance it turns out to be a bust, with these new motor cars, the whole Northeast is really our oyster right now. I'm told they have a wonderful new exhibit at the Baltimore Aquarium. I'm told there's an opera opening in Long Island tonight. Oh, the world is at our fingertips. It truly is wonderful in this modern new century.
That it is. The world belongs to man now. For now.
Hubert angles an eyebrow at you, Dr. Blake. So to speak. Well, I must be off then, and I'll, we'll catch up later. I'll see if I can arrange to meet you at the museum later today. Got some board walking to do. Certainly not going to get down here without a bit of that old taffy.
Of course, Professor. May I show you out?
By all means.
I walk him to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my apologies, sir, but you're going to have to handle the knob for me.
But of course. He opens the door.
Good day. We're looking forward to seeing you later. Goodbye.
Is there a very regal-looking doggy door on your front door?
Yes.
Good.
Absolutely. Monica, it has been too long.
Oh, even the doggy door is green.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That is how I get to and fro. Unfortunately, I can't be bothered to be seen around here too much, but I have my nightly walks.
We all have to have our exercise.
Indeed. It gives the neighbors quite a spook.
Oh, I imagine it would. Do any
Yes.
of their pets seem to get mad at you?
Oh, yes. From time to time, but they are all silly animals.
I am what they call a pariah.
The phone rings in the corner, and Hubert goes to answer it.
Monica jumps in her seat.
Yes. Monica, that is the telephone. I have one in my home. You
They're so
understand.
loud. I know they're there, and I forget about it until they make that wretched noise.
Indeed. Oftentimes I will bury my head in the couch, for it is the least I can do to begin to stop myself from barking like a beast.
I understand.
Well, I'll ask him. Dr. Blake, a friend of yours from the Century Club is on the line. He is in Atlantic City and wanted to know if you wanted to arrange some sort of social occasion.
Outstanding. Yes, I think I shall. Let me see which friend.
A man by the name of Booth?
Booth. Yes, Booth. All right. Yes, if you could just go ahead and set the receiver down there. Yes.
I'm afraid the cord is... You may have to get up on the chair again.
No problem.
Right,
Get
here,
up on the
here you are.
chair and
I can just
wag my little
sort of
tail.
hold this here.
Yes.
I'll try to... He tries to angle the... He's holding the speaker up to your mouth and the receiver in the vicinity of your ear.
Dr. Blake speaking.
Dr. Blake. A pleasure.
This is 2 times you've done this to me. Continue.
How do you do, Marksley?
I am simply pleasant. And you?
I'm quite well. You wouldn't believe it, but I had actually just gotten in touch with our fellow club mate, Miss Monica Gelato, who is standing in my
Monica,
foyer.
He's
Dearest
standing.
friend.
She's sitting in the corner, folding her gloves, wringing them around her hands, just staring at the telephone.
Tell Monica that Marksley is simply looking forward to our next encounter.
I will be sure to do that. And that encounter,
This character's voice.
and that encounter may be sooner than you would think. If my manservant Hubert is to be believed.
Yes, sooner than anyone would think. Anyways, I would love to meet with you very soon.
Yes, I hear you're in town. We should certainly arrange such a thing.
Of course, when is most convenient?
Well, how about? Oh, damn! There's a museum exhibit later this afternoon that I'm afraid I have already made a prior engagement to. Perhaps I could swing an invitation for you as well.
Oh, that would be marvelous. Yes, let's do that.
Outstanding. Yes. I will just have to make a phone call, and Hubert can make the arrangements.
Proper.
All right. Well, I must say I am very excited to see you.
Oh, likewise. See you soon.
Mm-hmm. And you as well. Have a good day.
Already hung up the phone.
Well, it appears that Marksley Booth is going to be joining us at our little shindig this evening.
Oh, what a delight!
It has been simply too long. In fact, I don't know if he's seen me since the. Oh wait,
That
no, of course he
incident
has.
with
Yes,
the weremen?
Yes, the incident with the weremen in the caves. Yes, I was just thinking about that back in South America.
Well, shall I go get some tea started and, head out shortly after that?
Oh, I'll just take a water, but, Monica, would you like a tea?
Tea or water? What a decision. I'll have water as well.
Excellent.
Right.
You know how I like mine. In a
I
bowl.
have heard dreadful things about the caffeine in the tea these days. I'll need to run some tests myself before I partake too much.
Yes, I've heard many
yes.
men are turning to that as an alternative now that spirituous beverages are prohibited.
It's hardly the same thing. They're completely different. One gives you energy, and the other makes you a fool.
That's the same thing for several people, however.
Right you are, Miss Gelato. I have missed that razor-sharp wit of yours.
She just smiles and stares at the wall.
Well, I'm going to excuse myself from this witty repartee as I've nothing more to add.
All right, Hubert.
What a lovely man. He's so charming.
Indeed. He will be renowned by the world for his exploits. My exploits. But such is a pittance when it comes to what really matters, and that is the science.
It truly is. It leaps and bounds, baby steps. It's all back and forth, getting used to somebody else stealing credit for your hard work.
Or, well, I shouldn't say he's stealing it. I'm
It's
more.
more of a donation on your half. It's a mutual sort of.
Yes, mutual.
Hmm.
He just looks down.
That would be nice. I can't imagine how that is.
Well, I'm sure that if you had gotten to live out the rest of your days in your own time, perhaps there would have been. We would be. I would be standing off of the shoulders of even greater giants than before. But the benefit is that now the 1900s are here to benefit from your brilliant mind.
It seems. I understand. However, I'm having a bit of an internal conflict of how quickly I want to get off my feet because there's just so much new. There's so many new things to just see and do and experience, and the science. It's charted territory now. It's no longer uncharted. I'm going to have to expand my mind even more than I dreamed before. Speaking of, do you have a refrigerator in this house, or is it you still, since this is your like secondary sort of abode?
Yes. I believe we have a freezer. And it should be in the kitchen if we have one. I'm uncertain myself.
I'll have to take a gander at that later.
I mostly spend all of my time in the basement personally. That's where I have my laboratory set up.
Ooh, you'll have to show me that sometime. If secrets.
Oh no, not at all. Not among friends. Haha. Well, I must admit I am slightly interested in this museum situation that Professor Perry,
Python?
Professor Perry, yes.
Perry, Python? I'm
Python.
so bad with names. There's
Python.
so many names nowadays. There are
Yes.
just as many names now as what there were before.
Yes.
What could it be? Do you think it's a small object, a large object?
I couldn't say myself.
Do you think it's dangerous? It must be dangerous.
Oh, well, I hadn't really thought about that. Well, I'm sure if they have it set up in a museum where there are going to be many.
Plenty of things have been stolen from museums, darling.
Oh, well, I'm sure many things have been stolen from museums, but I don't know if that indicates that the object itself will be dangerous.
True.
Meanwhile, across town, not too far away, down near the boardwalk, A man has a nice, relaxing, illegal drink.
I'd love to steal your mustache, fellow.
Marksley Booth sits at the counter of a speakeasy in an alley off of the boardwalk. A small number of other people are in attendance, but it's a little early for many people. The bartender has been stoically here cleaning glasses for you all morning. He's known as Peanut after his allergy.
Pleasant morning, don't you think, Peanut?
Couldn't rightly say, Mr. Booth.
Oh, why not?
They don't let me outside.
I've been trapped behind this stand.
You know, my full name is Peanut Outside on account of my 2 allergies.
Well, you see, Boardwalk's been getting a little less savory these past days. I know it ain't right for me to say, being what I work at the Speako, but those protection payments, men standing off with guns sometimes. Saw an old lady took a bullet in the leg at the fairground the other day. I'd say it's getting out of hand, these mobsters.
Yes, times seem to be quite rough. But, so long as you remain in business and remain in good health, well, all is well in the world, right? All things considered. Just keeping one step ahead of the curve.
I certainly hope to never lose my health. I certainly hope now that this has happened, he runs a hand over his bald spot. Sometimes I lay awake at night, wondering whether this will be next. He touches his mustache.
I could not think of a greater shame on this world, Peanut. I believe your mustache is only growing more powerful over time. And as a reminder, your establishment brings me such great, spirits. So, do let your good friend Marksley know if anyone does you wrong.
Oh, that's a mighty kind offer there, Mr. Booth. But,
I pride myself on being a kind man.
Well, Peanut is as Peanut does, and Peanut don't want no troubles with no one, so I just keep my head down, and trouble seems to mostly stay away.
I'm gonna cry!
Marksley drinks a bit more. Sometimes I wish I could have such a charm myself, Peanut. No matter how many times I duck my head low, trouble seems to follow old Marksley to the ground.
The door opens, and a man sort of sweeps into the bar, silently but with immense presence. And his eyes immediately alight on you, Marksley.
There you are.
Oh. Well.
Tomasa Jazar sweeps over with his 6'3" body, towering in this year of 1921.
My dear friend, he kind of looks over at you. Have we actually met before?
I think
yes.
we have. Yes.
I think
Yeah,
so, yeah.
The implicit circumstances here are, Tomasa, you've been keeping an eye out because Marksley's here in Atlantic City for some undisclosed reason, and you have gathered that he has some enemies locally, and you've been positioned all over the place from time to time, watching their movements.
On his account, or just for fun?
Whichever. Which one do you want?
I imagine that I just heard Marksley Booth was in an area and assumed a fan was about to be covered in shit. So I've been looking out, looking in all the directions.
I definitely think that would be on canon, yeah.
I don't know what you are up to, but I am sure it is not good.
Oh, Tomasa, must I always be up to something?
Apparently, he looks you up and down. I assume you look completely different from however you looked the previous time you encountered him.
Yes, absolutely. His facial hair is different besides that stupid mustache. He's got a new pair of spectacles and everything. He's simply like, I swear to you on this moment that I am simply in town to check out a museum with an old friend.
I will take one lemonade.
Come now, don't want to enjoy a spirit with the centuries?
Ah, I see. There are ghosts here. This is your doing. Have you come to swindle the undead now?
No. Tomasa, my
You
dear.
know they cannot defend themselves.
Oh, much the same, I cannot do much to ghosts. Spirit is a term we use to describe alcohol.
Ah, I see.
Peanut shakes up some tonic water, squeezes in a lemon by hand, adds a little bit of sugar, and basically makes you what is just lemonade, but served in a cocktail glass.
Oh man, tonic water. You might have well just grabbed it from the fucking ocean and spat in it. All right. Tomasa will be fine with this, assuming the lemonade in this country is terrible. He will say nothing. He is disappointed, but you cannot tell because he always looks disappointed.
And Tomasa, why don't you go ahead and give us the inaugural roll of the game?
Ooh.
Roll me some investigation to see whether, like, what you've discovered while you've been watching Marksley for these past however many days or hours.
I have discovered nothing.
You've seen the usual, like, you've seen a lot of, like, petty crime at the boardwalk, a lot of pickpocketing, one or two muggings, and you may or may not have stepped in. But surprisingly, so far, no trouble appears to have come for Marksley specifically.
This is what troubles me. It is the calm before a storm. I was staking out the boardwalk. The children would come up to me thinking I was one of your carnival folk on account of my outlandish outfit. He gestures to his... He's basically covered head to toe in scarves.
Oh, heavens, that's quite unfortunate. Probably interfered with your whole efforts to keep a watchful eye on those who would harm me.
No, luckily I am taller than most children and can see over them quite easily.
Yes, well, if that is the case, then tell me, I have come to cause no trouble in this city, but has trouble come to stalk my feet, stalk my bootsteps, per se?
I have not seen any I have not seen any trouble with Marksley Booth in their sight yet.
Suddenly the door bursts open. Marksley Booth! A young thug wearing a cheap suit runs through the door, a very large shotgun in his arms. All right, nobody move, or I'll... He fires the shotgun and blows up a random lamp on the wall.
A young giant set of ears accompanied by a suit that is much too
flaps.
large for it.
He flaps in Dumbo style.
And he waves the shotgun around a little, like, seemingly uncertain of who exactly he's trying to threaten, but he wants everyone to be very intimidated. Marksley, this is effectively a compel of your dead son of the Ade family relationship with the Sagiates aspect, so you can take a fate point.
Okay, will do. I'd like to immediately use that fate point to invoke my low to the ground. Tomasa, as you kind of look at that, the moment he mentions Marksley, you look back, the seat is empty, and Marksley has already hit the ground and slithering away like a snake trying to crawl behind the bar.
He's grinching across the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to try to roll a stealth to just disappear.
Okay.
I get a +2 to that due to my my aspect of that. So yeah, I'll just give that a drop and see what happens.
All right. You have to beat this goon's perception roll.
Be careful, he might hear you.
It's a +2 to that.
This is alertness. He rolls a 2. Yeah, he sweeps the shotgun around the room. Random patrons are like pressed up against the wall. Some of them haven't even reacted. They're still just drinking because they're like, yeah, this shit just happens sometimes. And so he sweeps the gun back around and points it at Peanut. Hey, you bartender. I'm looking for some ugly creepo. Booth the name. You ever heard of this mug? Peanut looks around behind him where Marksley's like on the floor. Marksley, this is gonna be a test of Peanut's loyalty to you. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
So go ahead and I'm gonna have you roll a rapport check opposing this goon's intimidation check.
Alrighty, let's give that a shot. No, okay. That's not the best, but
Well, he rolled a...
Oh!
That's
So you
that's
clash.
an even result if you clash. Peanut kind of smooths out his mustache and goes over to the cash register. Look at your son. If you're looking for money, maybe we can settle something out. I've already paid Willie the protection money for the week though, so this I'd have to take that up with him. I don't need your money. I need Booth. You. He pans the gun from Peanut over to Tomasa. You look like you're not from around here. Neither is Marksley Booth. You wouldn't happen to be accomplices, would you?
Marksley Booth. The name may ring a bell. Tell me what he has done and why you are mad at him, so I can decide who I should help.
Well, what he's done? I don't know. But I know that the guy what runs the hooch around these parts. Maybe you heard of him, Wet Willie Moore? Yeah, he wants this Booth brought in, so that's what I'm here to do.
Ah, I understand now. Is that Booth standing behind you in the doorframe? Tomasa points his long arm past the goon's long ears.
Hey, what? He turns around.
As he does that, I am going to, almost in a blink of an eye, unfurl my whip, the Red Viper, and procure his shotgun from him using said whip.
Okay, make a weapons roll.
Okay.
That will be opposed by his guns skill.
And I will also, since that is one of my aspects, I will tag it.
Okay, so that becomes a 5 against his 3.
Ah, glad I did that.
All right. Yeah, you snap out with the Red Viper. It coils around the shotgun and is yanked out of his arms as he turns around the other direction. Hey, what? You...
It appears he was not behind you. Tomasa extends the barrel of the shotgun, pointing towards the ceiling towards Peanut. More lemonade, please. He implies he should pour it into the shotgun.
Peanut silently, stoically mixes up another lemonade, pours it down the barrel of the shotgun. Oh, you shouldn't have done that! Boys, I'm getting some trouble here! He runs out into the alley. And you can hear a car pulling up outside.
Well, cars.
Marksley steps back up. You're not really sure where he came from out of nowhere, but he like he was laying down, and then I guess he was gone because he's just walking out of a side room now. Oh,
the back of his suit is printed exactly like the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Marksley walks up and he actually pulls out a $5 bill and puts it on the counter next to Peanut. You're quite the wonderful friend, Peanut. I found a back door, Tomasa. Let's leave.
Okay. I do not want to deal with more than one person on your account until I have ascertained why they are after you.
Oh, for no good reason, I'm sure. Yeah, he departs with Tomasa through a back door that he, if that is okay.
That's fine. I'll ask you to fate point that, and then yes, you can have a back door.
Okay, gotcha.
Peanut slides the $5 across the counter. Well, you have yourself a good day, Mr. Booth. If you don't mind, maybe don't come back until whatever this is blows over.
Oh, don't worry, I understand. Hopefully trouble will follow me on the wind. Away from your fine establishment. Good day, Peanut. He ducks out the back door.
All right. Marksley and Tomasa, you guys managed to sneak out the back and out to the boardwalk.
Oh shit, those people are going really fast!
Yeah.
I see.
And?
People do indeed walk faster in the city. I cannot follow them.
Oh, it's a bustling city indeed. Everyone moves at 50 miles per hour here.
We're in the middle of filming the Under Pressure music video.
So you sneak out onto the boardwalk, and you hear as a car appears to have driven onto the boardwalk, and you see some guys hustling toward the bar that you just left. But another car passes by you on the way, abruptly stops, and the doors fly open and goons start piling out. And this is going to become a conflict.
Oh boy.
Yeah, four of these little mousy goon juniors and one guy who looks like he might actually know what he's doing pop out. Let's see, so there's 4 of you and 1 of you. And I'll get some music going. Yeah, we'll go with this. What are each of your alertness scores?
Let's find out.
Hero.
Alertness, 4.
Oh shit! All right.
Oh wait, no, 2. I'm not. Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Oh, I realized we don't roll that. That's just decided. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Tomasa, you get to act first. You are all basically interchangeably in one space as these guys burst out of the car. So you are in range of melee and range, whatever you want to attack with or whatever you want to do.
Excellent.
And I will also reveal to you that also in effect is the scene aspect, crowded boardwalk.
I
Okay,
see.
so we are just like out right in the proper city, not even in an alley or anything.
Yeah, you started out in an alley, but the speakeasy pretty much feeds directly back onto the boardwalk. So there are people around.
Okay. Oh boy. So, in spirit of the century, what is the hey, maybe don't do that level of just shooting people?
Your general guideline is you are all heroes, and for the most part, heroes avoid killing people when it's practical. And they always avoid killing people who have surrendered or can't defend themselves.
All right.
You can pretty much think of yourself like Indiana Jones. He does just shoot a couple guys and throw a guy off a blimp, but he doesn't mow people down like John Rambo.
All right. I did have to check, given where my stats are all allocated.
Yes.
Okay. All right, in that case, still carrying the terrible lemonade shotgun, Tomasa, as these guys get out of their car and go, yeah, it's Moxley Booth and his tall friend. He is going to try and fire a wide burst of lemonade from the shotgun at them, hopefully stinging their eyes and making it harder for them to really do anything and stun them for a couple seconds.
Okay, so that'll be a guns roll, and I'm gonna say that you have a fragile aspect on you called Shotgun Full of Lemonade, so you can also tag that once if you wish.
I will tag that because I think that is not, like, I can't think he would save that. This is a weapon you pick up in Hotline Miami and throw it at the first guy you see.
Okay. Yeah.
So, all right, I will do that.
Yep. So that's going to be opposed by... These guys are all functioning as... Oh, I'm sorry. I actually had these guys as separate initiatives, but they are all attached as one group, so they actually all act on one turn. And so they will roll athletics to try to dodge your lemonade.
I believe I have a 6 with the aspect
yes,
tag.
Yes, the aspect, that is a 6. All right. They roll a 2 for their defense. You fire the shotgun, and lemonade sprays out. The more senior goon was the one driving the car. He has to run around the car to get to you, whereas these eager youngsters all piled out and just started barreling towards you, pulling pistols out of their waistcoats. So they take the brunt of this. The wave of lemonade just splatters across their faces, and as one, they face plant into the wooden floor. Ah, yeah, ow, 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 what the hell?
Enjoy the rains that my land never had. Oh, they all what?
Yeah, they all, one of them like trips over a trash can and falls over a railing to the sand below. The others are all just writhing on the ground. You just took those guys out.
All right, Tomasa tosses the gun on the ground. It is fucking useless.
Marksley.
All right, yeah. When Marksley comes up, he's kind of standing there too. And when you did that, did it make any sort of like, what's the crowd looking like right now?
Well, the crowd would certainly have reacted to the sound of a gunshot, although it probably had a slightly different sound than normal with the ammo. But there's definitely, they're aware that this is happening.
Yeah. So what Marksley's gonna do is Marksley pulls out his own gun, and he's kind of standing a bit in front of these goons, but there's other people in the way. So he's kind of moving back further away from the goons, and he starts shooting it in the air. And he's gonna yell out some random stuff in German and just start yelling at people and just trying to come off as insane as possible. And just does something like, "We have come to America to destroy you all!" and just other loud stuff like that. And basically getting everyone to stampede and run away in the direction of the goons so that they're just absolutely swarmed in people.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'll handle that as I was thinking scene aspect, but given that you're directing them against the goon, I'm gonna say this is gonna be a maneuver. To put a swarmed by the crowd aspect on the goon. So go ahead and roll intimidation.
Alrighty, yeah. Okay, let's see. Oof. Whoops. I was looking at the seat, but that is absolutely intimidation. He doesn't have intimidation, so this is just straight up a go. Let's see.
So, given how you described your actions, I'll introduce a concept that may come up sometimes here. I would say this is intimidation modified by deceit, meaning you adjust the primary skill by 1 in the direction of the other skill. If your deceit is higher than 0, then you'll be rolling at +1 instead of +0.
Then that's definitely what I'll be doing then. All right, I don't see the macro for rolling without, so I'm just gonna roll one of my other +1s and count it as, you know.
That's fine.
All right, so that's 1.
That's a 1. All right. You fire. Sorry, were you firing your gun in the air also, or just shouting?
Yes, I was shouting.
Yeah. You start shouting and firing your gun in the air and acting like a crazy German one-man army. The crowd does indeed begin to flee. However, they sort of flee in random directions instead of stampeding one way. So I am going to replace the crowded boardwalk aspect with frenzied crowd. That will be the effect of that maneuver.
Alrighty, sounds good. After doing that, like, he turns back to Tomasa. Oh, just need the crowd to get out. We don't want anyone getting hurt, do we?
I think you need to roll to convince me that is what you are doing.
Later.
All right, the remaining goon steps forward. You dumb mugs! He kicks his men on the ground, but they are curled up in the fetal position as lemonade sears their retinas. He draws a Tommy gun from under his coat and levels it at you, Marksley. All right, listen to me. You's coming in the Wet Willie in 1 piece or 20, and he's just gonna open fire at you.
Oh, okay.
So this will be a guns attack. So you can defend against this however you choose.
All right.
The sort of default one you can always use is athletics.
Yeah. I was thinking that
actually you don't need to because he rolled a -1.
All right. Yeah.
But if you want to actually, no, you should still defend, because if you defend and beat him by a lot, you get a bonus.
All right. Well, let's do this athletics roll then.
Likewise, you might roll a -2.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
Wow, you guys both ate shit on this roll.
Yeah.
So in the end, he goes wide of his mark, and his bullets just decimate a nearby cotton candy stand.
No.
Back to Tomasa.
All right. This is so stupid. Tomasa looks at the frenzied crowd around him, and he sees horrified parents grabbing their children from the threat of more crazy Germans. They've had enough of that since the Great War. So he sees a particularly portly child running by with his mother, and that I'm gonna tag frenzied crowd for this, and stop me if I'm going too far. As this child with a batch of 1920s era molasses-based confections runs by, Tomasa would like to kick them at this guy, sticking him in place and covering him in goo of the 20s.
Goo of the 20s.
That's a little more specific than frenzied crowd, but I will let you fate point the detail that there is a fat kid with molasses confections among the frenzied
I'll
crowd.
take it.
All right, so it'll be one for the detail and then 1 for the tag, and you can add that bonus to whatever action this is gonna be. I'm gonna say probably
Just
this.
kicking.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So, sorry. I don't have all the stats on here. Is kicking its own stat?
Normally that's all unarmed stuff is fists, so you have a +1 base to that.
You use
All right,
your
well-
foot fist.
Okay, that's unaffected by whatever else is happening. So, what are my bonuses on top of that?
So
If
then
any.
you have a +2 for tagging, for fate pointing a kid with molasses and using it.
All right.
And this guy's gonna try to dodge your confectionery.
Oh no.
That is an even result. So
do I not get the +2 on mine?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot that was before the +2. All right, yeah. So that's a 2 result. So the molasses flies at this goon as he's in the middle of reloading his Tommy gun, and it's a little bit off of where you aimed. You wanted at his feet, but actually it splashes all up his pants and onto his chest area and all over his gun, rendering it completely useless. He looks down at his junior goons, still like crying like their mom took their original Babe Ruth card away from them, which is a contemporary item, not worth anything but sentimental value. And he drops his gun and just says, "I'm nuts to this," and dives back into the car and begins to flee.
Is he leaving the other goons?
Yeah. So, yeah, no, you seem to have fended these guys off pretty effectively.
Whew, goodness. We should probably depart as well.
One of the goons tries to crawl away on the ground, hoping you won't notice him.
Yeah, Marksley approaches and grabs the guy by the like his collar and kind of drags him back over this way, next to Tomasa, and then kind of throws him down in the middle of there and kind of crouches down a bit. And then after that, you wouldn't happen to know why these fine gentlemen were after me today, would you, sir?
Well, yeah, alls I know is Wet Willie said you'd done someone wrong, and he wanted you brung in for a friendly conversation is all.
I would not describe the goings-on here as friendly.
No, and I believe the words used earlier were, well, alive or with some form of 20 holes in my body. I don't think that's quite a friendly conversation. Your boss sounds like a man I do not want to approach. So, how about you go back and, he kind of turns back, well, should we deal with this man before or after we deal with the other problems?
Boy, give me your suit.
Well, hey, you can't. A man's suit's part of his pride. You
I
can't
want
take
your
that
jacket.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
I do not know if I have good intimidation, actually. I do not. All right. Oh, all right. I do have it. It's fine.
No.
All right. Random you Germans and somethings coming
I
here.
am also German.
All right, I don't want any trouble with you. I don't know what's going on anymore. He throws you his suit jacket. I gotta go wash my eyes. But you just don't forget this law. This part of Atlantic City's all in Wet Willie's pocket. You wanna do business here. You wanna have your nice little vacation. You're gonna have to make things right with him.
While this goon is at some distance, turns around, pointing at us and declaring all that, Tomasa just walks over and drops his suit jacket in the ocean and turns back and walks back over.
He in mid rant, he stops when he sees you do that. He runs away crying.
It's about leaving an impression.
My goodness, you're quite cruel, Tomasa. But
Apparently not as cruel as you, since people want to kill you over something you did.
Oh, I've done nothing wrong. But perhaps there are those who want to punish me for things I have done for the greater good. And I'm quite sure this Wet Willie Moore is one uncouth individual.
Yeah, go ahead and actually, yeah, make me a Boy, what skill would this be?
Contacting, maybe?
Yeah, I'd buy that. Yeah, go ahead and just make a quick contacting roll to see,
Yeah.
like, what do you know about this guy?
Yeah, either contacting or burglary, but I think more contacting. So I'll do contacting, and we'll see what happens. Oh my! Yeah, I know him. I know him really well.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you thought you were concerned this might happen, but you decided the risk was worth it for the nice beach weather. Wet Willie Moore is a notorious bootlegger and sort of mid-tier gangster who supposedly supplies more than half of the illegal liquor that is consumed on the boardwalk. In fact, I can show you his mugshot.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Them
looks a
20s
little
mug
bit.
shots.
He looks a little bit like a sort of something about his eyes and nose remind me of Ralph Fiennes, I think is his name, the dude who plays Voldemort.
Mm.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
He is a. This isn't super commonly known, but you definitely know this. He is a business partner of the Saggiati gang. In particular, he supplies, aside from Atlantic City, he runs them a lot of his liquor out of the city and to other places where they sell it at a profit.
Was this a real guy?
This is a real mugshot. As far as I know, this character I invented.
Okay.
Yeah, the mugshot from 25. He's at it for another 4 years after this game. But yeah, so yeah, Booth.
We lose.
Well, I knew all that all along, but I said I didn't know who he was before, so I'm gonna keep up with that angle for now, and just be on the idea of like, yes, I'm afraid I could not know what a bootlegger would want to do with old Booth, but I can say that Booth. I highly doubt he'll be stopping anytime soon. So, he stops. But if there's some trouble with me in town, you don't have to get all wrapped up in that affair unless you've come for something else.
It's something I know that will happen, so I prefer to be ready for it to happen. Have you ever had, I guess the best way to describe this, if you have an appointment at 4 and you wake up at 8, you will be thinking about the appointment at 4 all day, and that just ruins your day. You are my appointment at 4. I am waiting for it to be 4. It is currently noon.
Oh, I'm afraid it's a bit past noon at this point. He stopped again and then, very well, very well. Perhaps we should be 2 punctual gentlemen and reach our appointment quite early. Perhaps the doctor's accepting early for us.
Speaking of getting involved with Marksley Booth and getting caught up in his shit, Monica and Dr. Blake, you guys are having a nice drive down to the boardwalk, and as you reach near sort of like where the main streets are gonna peel off toward the area where you can park for the boardwalk, a car goes speeding by you. And it's by speeding, I mean like 40
it goes
miles an
speeding
hour.
by you at the speed of a person.
Yeah.
The people are walking faster than that
I have
thing.
a question, Austin.
Yes.
What?
Is your head out the window?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, just making sure.
Just
As
soaking all of this in.
Marksley Booth is like, we should be punctual individuals, and the doctor grabs you in his jaws and flies away with you in the car.
At like 20 miles per hour. Yeah.
As you two are heading to the boardwalk, a car cuts you off, Monica, takes a corner super fast, smashes one of your headlights, and since there are no seat belts, cars are giant things you basically sit in. You and Dr. Blake
I am beheaded.
Quite well. Look, it didn't take it at the right angle to harm you, but oh man, they like dinged the shit out of your car and sped off towards the boardwalk with nary a care in the world.
Sounds.
Oh my goodness!
That bastard. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'll be quite fine.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my car. Oh, dear. I talk to you.
Monica,
go
Monica,
ahead.
your car is not alive.
What?
No, they're machines.
She's alive to me, though, darling. Oh, the paint is completely ruined.
Well, let us
Monica?
avenge her post haste.
I'm going to compel your aspect, the little engine that could. These assholes just cut you off, smashed your car, did not stop to even apologize, let alone compensate you or see if you were all right. You want to get these guys?
Yeah. Did you see what color that car was?
Oh, that car.
It was black. It was either black
it
or
can't
white.
get away that fast.
It's either black or white.
You need to understand. You need to understand that in my new body, I do not sense color quite as well.
Oh, that's true. Well,
I have
either
forgotten
way.
all about color.
Moxley, did you
Yeah.
see that? There was an
Oh, I
accident
did.
just down the road, and that car is trying to perform what I believe is called a, lifts his fingers up and does quotes, hit and run. But they cannot get around the people, which move significantly faster than them.
Yes.
If anything,
Oh.
what is the point of taking a car when you can just run there faster?
Oh, and I
As
would say
members of the
that-
Century Club, I believe we should assist them.
Yes. I believe that car is business with us, anyways. Marksley kind of reloads his gun a bit. Tomasa, pop a tire.
Sorry, what did you say?
Tomasa, could you pop a tire on that car?
Oh, of the running away one?
Yeah,
I probably
yeah.
could, honestly.
Yeah. You got that sniper stuff, so yeah.
All right. He walks over through the crowd of fast people onto the boardwalk and gets on top of the cotton candy stand and assumes a sniper stance, taking out his cherry wood sniper rifle.
Ah, okay.
Marksley kind of stands nearby, more visibly, like just in sight. Kind of puts his arms behind his back, and it's kind of just bait if these are more goons coming after them.
Monica, go ahead and make a drive check.
Yeah, she gets back in it and is just like turning the key, like, come on.
Oh, you get a fate point because I compelled your aspect.
Cool. Okay. Where do I roll again? My bad.
On your
drive.
character
Right.
sheet. Yeah.
Bip. And then what do I do for fate?
Just
So
sorry,
you-
Dad.
Yeah, just go ahead and add 1 to your current total. Or possibly you could consider tagging an aspect to re-roll that. Yeah.
Oh, come on, not now. I need.
Yeah, you turn the key.
God,
Oh, sorry.
cost me
Did I say
money
turn
and
the
time.
key? I meant you get out and start cranking.
the thing.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
Come on.
So guys, are you re-rolling?
Oh, I re-roll. Okay, that's how that
You
works.
can
I
do
did
either.
not
You
know.
can add +2 or you can re-roll.
You
I'm
should
assuming-
I'm gonna
re-roll.
re-roll it. Yeah.
All right.
She gets up and starts running down the street with one little goose.
All right, then. I start chasing. I start giving chase as well.
Tomasa gets the running away car in his sight and is gonna try and shoot out the driver's side tire. I really don't want to fuck up on my first sniping roll since that is his thing. That's his thingest thing. So I'm gonna burn 1 more fate point to tag can't get past me.
Yep, makes perfect sense.
And I'm gonna roll gun.
Yeah.
So a 7.
That's a 7.
Just,
That's a lot of
just
good.
so you know, you can roll before deciding whether or not to tag anything.
Okay.
But
I haven't
okay,
been doing that because it doesn't feel as fair.
total of 7. All right, I'll roll for I'll roll for the driver of this car.
It hits the tire and the car explodes.
Was the tire a red barrel?
Oh,
All
pretty
right,
good
yeah,
roll.
you beat them by 3. which is more than the durability of this car. So you're just like, hey, give me a moment. You take the shot, and hundreds of feet away, the front tire blows out with a massive boom. The crowd, which was already scattering, because you're not fucking supposed to just drive a car down the pedestrian part of the boardwalk, begins fleeing as this car rapidly spins around several times, flips over in the air and lands on its side, sending a pile of people flopping onto the boards. Non-lethally, since it's pulp. But, yeah, another group of besuited mooks with guns splats in front of you guys as Monica and Dr. Blake hustle down from behind.
Ah, what luck!
Oh, Marksley notices them approaching, and he kind of smiles, and then I imagine it's a thing where the goons are looking at us, and they're coming from behind. Marksley is going to put up his hands and say, Now, hang on, gentlemen. I believe we could talk about this now that we are on equal footing. It doesn't have to get any more violent than it has. Come now. I'm gonna try to deceive them, to just kind of keep talking at them. I'm gonna pin in my aspect that is literally... We'll see what I get deceit-wise first. Okay.
Okay, so your goal is to deceive him. What is your actual goal that is different?
Oh, we're gonna ambush him and take him down, but I'm pretending like we're trying to work out an impact, like, you know?
Yep.
He's gonna get jumped on by a big wolf, but he doesn't know that.
Roll his empathy. Yep. Right. He appears to be taken in. He the lead goon picks himself up, groaning, kind of dusts off his suit jacket, puts his hat back on. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. We can. I guess we can. He looks around and sees the two remaining lemonade goons who are awkwardly crawling away, and surmises that everyone else has already bailed. I guess we can talk this over. Fucking Dr. Blake behind.
Last line that Marksley says, Yes, no need to get violent. Unless some form of force of nature were to occur, we should all get along just fine.
I'm gonna tackle him. I just full body tackle him.
Before he full body tackles him, a sudden out of nowhere snowball hits him in the side of the head, and then a dog hits him.
It knocks his hat off, and as he's turning, Dr. Blake bears down on him and just fucking scrunches him into the boards.
Who do you think you are, huh?
I
don't care who you think you are, because that was extremely rude.
Look, I didn't mean no disrespect to you, to no dame. Sometimes you gotta get a place in a hurry.
Nice me being the dame have to do with abiding by the rules of proper road safety.
Mr. Booth! Good to see you.
Dr. Blake. And Monica, my dear.
He steps up and goes and, like, gives you a very courteous bow, and then, like, how fare you?
She has another snowball in her hand and is just looking at it. Like, it melts. I'm doing fine now that you're here. Rough this man up.
Yes, please, rough him up.
Easily done.
Oh, it simply gave me no delight once Blake told me you'd be here as well. He does. Look, I've encountered a dear friend in common, Tomasa.
Tomasa? You're here as well? Hello!
Oh,
Tomasa! It seems it is 4 o'clock already.
Oh, and not a minute too soon.
She looks at her little wristwatch. Oh, goodness, it is. Oh, what time is the appointment?
I believe we aren't due there until 5.
5, but it's quite a drive away, isn't it? I don't know, is it?
To get from Atlantic City to Philadelphia in 1920s cars, it's probably like 2 hours, but it's pretty easy to trek. So you've got like hours before you would need to leave Atlantic City.
Yes, indeed.
I take it that was your car.
And does it have a knife?
Silence! And I headbutt him.
Ain't no one back at the saloon gonna believe your story. I was mugged by a talking dog. I was.
And I just lean over and go, no one will believe you.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if all of you have noticed this, but you have rollable tables to let you flip which direction you're facing.
All right, cool.
I need to take down one of my fate points, right?
Yeah, well, you got one for the compel, and then you spent it to re-roll, so you're still at 10.
Okay, all right.
I take it that was your car that was hit.
Yes, it was. It was one of them. But it'll be fine. I know people who can fix her.
I know very little about cars. He pokes it like it's a maybe dead animal, but from my understanding, when they take damage like this, they are no longer able to drive. This is correct? You, I think we met at a World's Fair, right? So there were probably cars there.
Yeah, we met multiple times.
Yes, you've seen that Tomasa is uncomfortable in and around cars and chooses to walk everywhere, regardless of how bad an idea that is. So if he is forced to engage in a car, he usually rides on top of it, sitting crisscross applesauce.
Yes!
Well, Marksley, who is this chap, by the way?
Oh, Tomasa. I've only had one prior acquaintance with him. Wonderful World Fair. We got along swimmingly.
He goes, he's a gentleman. Well, why ask? He stops again, you could ask him yourself, actually.
Oh, no, I meant the fellow I was sitting on.
I forgot he was there. He approaches. I don't know who this man is, but he does work for. He kind of looks down. A Wet Willie. Wet Willie Moore.
Yeah, you got it right. You got it, boss.
Cannot say I know the man. Tomasa. Tomasa, pleasure to meet you in the flesh. I must say I am quite surprised to see you. Mr. Booth did not tell me that there were two of our fellow Century Club members here.
Yes. You say in the flesh. Have we not met in person before? I forget.
It's you guys.
Let's say no, because that's funny.
Let's say no. Yeah.
He looks you up and down, and isn't surprised, but is there a ghost or a cursed check I can roll to be like, is this the result of some sort of artifact?
That's your mysteries.
All right. He looks you up and down and sees that there are no mysteries here, just a talking dog.
America. Yes, good to meet you.
No, not America. Science, dear.
Yes. Believe it or not, my good friend, my new friend. This is a work that can be accomplished in any country, continent on the earth.
He takes a knee and extends a hand to shake your hand respectfully.
He also shakes your hand.
Can it be accomplished somewhere other than on my chest?
Oh, be quiet. At the very least, you will be sent a very large bill. Ugh. Well, we were just going to meet up with Mr. Booth and possibly be on our way to Philadelphia later to attend a.
Booth stops him and points at the goon.
Yes. You can be on your way now.
You let your boss, Mr. Wet Willie, know we'll be seeing him at our own convenience.
Yes, I'll set up an appointment.
That's fine by me. It's sort of common knowledge to those in the know, and so with your 6, you like guaranteed know that Wet Willie has many facilities throughout the area, but his primary one is a fish cannery somewhere further down the boardwalk. He actually gained his name because he notoriously trades in both illegal liquors and actual quite legal fish, and he once misled a Bureau of Internal Revenue investigation for literal months, leading to them sending in a force to take down a warehouse and finding it only contained fish liver oil.
Booth kind of like stares at the goon as he stands up, and he actually pats his shoulders, dusts off his jacket, and returns his hat. You tell Mr. Moore that I'm quite excited to see him again, and I do hope that he's managed to recover all of that liquor that is now gathering water in the Atlantic. But he kind of pats him on the shoulder. Run along now.
Ooh, are you declaring the minor detail that you have some past with him where you like sunk one of his shipments?
Yes.
All right. I'm not gonna charge a fate point for that because that's most like theoretically that's somewhat to your disadvantage for that to be the case, but it's more interesting. He adjusts his hat. Yeah. Well, his door is always open. You know that. Oh. He limps away, having just been in a car accident and held at knife point by a wolf.
Yeah. So is that if I declared that, is that aspect now just hanging, the fact that Booth dumped a bunch, sunk a bunch of oil into the sea like it's tea?
Yeah, we'll,
The sea is endless. There's no chance that will ever come back to bite us.
we'll say there's a temporary aspect that is on. We'll say you've basically placed an aspect on Wet Willie, which is the Boothston Tea Party.
Fantastic. All right, so
I
yeah,
can't wait for that to be our linchpin aspect when we make the main antagonist Cthulhu evil lady drunk because the ocean.
Have a fucking sip, babe.
Yeah. Booth stumbles back up.
That's why the seawater was so lethal for that guy.
yeah. It's because of Booth's booze. But yeah, he steps back up after the other person's departed. Yes, we're going to a museum in Philadelphia. I was telling you a little about it. My primary purpose for being in this city. Besides the beautiful beach breeze.
Yes. Oh, you were already in town for the trip to Philadelphia?
Well, I was in town for the beach, and the museum caught my fancy.
Well, of course. We would be delighted if you were to join us, Tomasa.
I believe I will accompany you. Museums are quite interesting to me. As a hunter of haunted or otherwise problematic artifacts, I often find more than one or two every time I go for a visit. And a simple velvet rope or glass pane is rarely enough to protect them.
Really enough to stop me.
No, me.
I see. Well, it is a fascinating study, all of the strange and mystic. I never had much luck with it myself. Perhaps you would enlighten me on our journey.
I can tell you what I know. My teacher was a little more informed about it. I put my time into studying how to protect it more than what it is. So oftentimes I will be just as confused as you when ghosts come out of a tin can or whatever. But I can do my best.
I see. You're more of a survivalist, an outdoorsman.
I most certainly am.
I fancy myself the same.
He nods. A small amount of visible respect, which is a lot for him.
My goodness, I've just realized. I haven't been there yet. I had been there before, but not again. It hadn't even occurred to me because from what was it, a week before? Was it 2 weeks? It was within the month before it happened, I had gone there and it had just stuck in my head that I had already been there. But no, there's so much I have to see there. We have to go now.
I
Not
believe
even for
she
whatever
is
that lad was
suffering.
talking about.
I believe she may be suffering from shock from the car accident.
Believe me, my neck is killing me. I would love to rest inside of inside of the car. Assuming we can get the damn thing to start.
No, I'm quite sure Miss Gelato is just a firecracker for new things, Mr. Chata. Now, I believe we should get going lest we want to deal with more first again.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Speaking of,
you
hear
that.
a chorus of screams from the beach.
Oh no, someone saw me speaking again.
Sorry, that was my phone.
And you see
They
people
turn toward
beginning
the beach.
to run further up the beach, a short ways away from you, sort of like in this area off.
What on earth could be happening over there?
Well,
normal
it doesn't
for-
sound good.
It's happened again! Someone runs by. It's happened again! Oh, the damn mobsters, they took another one!
God, it's as if this is no longer a safe and wholesome place to be, Atlantic City.
People are going to have to start locking their doors.
Now, sir, he kind of like tries to flag down the person running. What is going on? Please inform me. Is there a problem?
Just let me grab him. Where am I going for this guy?
It's the goon again.
He's gonna be huge for a second. I gotta size him down.
I went to grab my suit jacket, but then
There was a squid
Oh
in
my
it.
god, we're the same fucking guy.
yeah.
Oh, it's this man who appears to be swiftly leaving with his family up from the beach. Those damn. You live around here?
Yes. What could be going on though? I've not heard.
Another body washed up on the beach.
Oh.
They come in waves when the infighting among the hooch runners gets real intense. It's practically seasonal now. It's a damn disgrace. And he looks out to the beach and points, and sure enough, you can see a unmoving person face down in the sand, having been carried in by the tide.
Oh.
My God.
Marksley approaches up as well, kind of looking around. Thank you for your time, sir.
He nods and walks away.
Monica kind of hides behind Tomasa as they walk up to it.
We don't have much time. I'm certain the police have been called by now.
Yes, I
Well-
suppose we're not the proper authorities for this sort of thing.
Yet, Marksley approaches and kind of, is this person in a bag or is it just like been?
I think they
No, it's just a loose floating
Ooh,
body
okay.
currently face down.
All right.
Do me a favor, flip him over for me. I would like to examine the body.
Of course.
And I'm actually going to tag barking orders, and I would like to do a science roll to ascertain the cause of death,
All right.
All right.
be it
I-
drowning or if he got shot or what the deal is.
I shall gladly be your hands again, Mr. Blake. Oh, Dr. Blake, my dearest apologies. He turns the body over. Wow.
All right, so two in addition to that, so 9.
So you flip the
Jesus.
body over. And it's a man, probably looks to be in his 40s. He's got his hair is all out of place, of course, but he's got brown hair and a very soaked brown mustache, and he's wearing he's wearing sort of modest clothes, all soaked through, and a completely ruined coat, slightly out of season, but nevertheless draped over his shoulders and dangling off of one arm. So you're going to science at this body, and you do it very well. Yeah, Dr. Blake, you examine this man with Marksley's help, and you are expecting to find like stab wounds or bullet holes or anything. And sure enough, he has been beaten quite badly. There's no obvious single wound that would have been the killing blow. And there's also something odd about his body. Now that you're looking at it closer, it looks kind of oddly swollen in places that aren't obviously bruised. And his skin is sort of weirdly pallid.
Am I able to, because of my science, am I able to have any sort of check of like how long he's been dead, judging by like the water and stuff? Because I'm fairly certain that Monica would know that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll science also. And can everyone actually, no, you don't really need to roll contacting. If you've examined this guy this closely, I'm confident that at least one of you would put together one thing. This man is about 25 years your senior, but you're pretty sure at least one of you've seen him interact with members of the Century Club before. And yeah, actually, you can each make a contacting roll to see if you actually know him at all personally.
All right.
I will take a look.
Is there just a button for rolling like a nothing? Well, I can't do better than you guys, so I just won't even bother.
I don't believe I have contacting, so I also will not bother.
Okay. Monica, it took you a second, but when you make your own examination, you suddenly react with a start, and you realize, with a deep and immediate sinking feeling, given the conversation earlier in the day, this is the body of one Raymond Peake, renowned explorer and member of the Century Club.
Oh no. This is Mr. Peake. The man who we,
Oh no. Oh dear. Well, the implications of that are frightening. Bit concerning to say the least, a fellow member of the Century Club.
Good job on the icon, Arim.
Thank you.
Well,
Oh, well, I guess we'll have to call in some of our people then.
Indeed.
a tragic accident indeed.
As
But-
far as figuring a cause of death, I found just some beatings, some punches and things like that. But
You know what? You rolled a fucking 9 on your science. I'm gonna give you a little more than that actually, because that's an astoundingly precise result. You examining closer, there are definitely things about this body that the science you know of does not adequately explain. Certainly none of his exterior injuries account fully for the state the body is in, the weird swelling and the off-color skin. You're confident this man has been dead less than 24 hours, and considering that, his body looks like something you recovered from sea after about a week.
Oh, that's quite bizarre.
If you've collectively mentioned the fact that he is your museum friend who invited you to see his mysterious thing, and also that all of that information, I will do another mystery roll.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
A 7.
So this is, I'm going to treat this as an assessment. Tomasa, examining him for any sort of supernatural origin of the state of his body. Offhand, just here with only this body to reference, you don't necessarily know the exact specifics, but some foul magic was worked with this man's body, either in the moment of his death or shortly after it. I will, you know what, I'm gonna say, I hadn't specifically come up with a name for this aspect, but I'm going to say you gain knowledge of an aspect, a posthumous aspect on this man, touched by the deep.
Oh.
Mm. You see, this is what I was talking about with the velvet ropes and the glass.
Indeed.
Well, unless our good friend Moore is practicing dark magic, then I'm afraid that we have many more problems in Atlantic City now.
Yes.
Indeed we
They
do.
said bodies like this come up because of the gangs, yes? And we have been attacked twice now because of the gangs. Perhaps we should look into these gangs. Perhaps they are, Nero's eyes, magic gangs.
My God, magic gangs? At what end? When does it stop?
Yells the dog.
Well, we
I'm
have an
slightly
appointment.
concerned about the rate at which his body is decomposing, or if not decomposing and changing. He looks a lot more dead than he should be. Would anybody be averse to me maybe, keeping him fresh?
I
yes.
have no qualms against it myself.
Please go on ahead.
Okay, I'm wondering how long would it take for some of our people to get here, because if the police show up and find him like this,
Indeed.
that's one thing, but if the police show up and find him as a popsicle, then that's another thing.
Perhaps the police should show up and not find him at all. Let's leave. With him.
With him?
Yes.
I don't know if I have enough room in that trunk, maybe.
You can say that you
bend
do
him up.
for convenience if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Are we taking a body?
The things
To
you
Philadelphia!
The things you convinced me to do, Marksley Booth. Oh!
You handsome devil! Tomasa takes off some of his layers, which are multitudinous, and wraps them over this
Good
man.
vocabulary.
Thank you.
I'm going to use a skill I was not expecting to be able to use, because I wasn't expecting to find a dead body in the sand, but I'd like to tag Buried Secret, which is my unfortunate amount of experience burying dead people in the sand. And I don't know, maybe a stealth roll to get this into the car and not have too much suspicion.
I don't think the suspicion would lead to anything interesting, so I'm just gonna say you succeed at that.
Okay.
It's like, sometimes the law enforcement is an active factor you need to take into account, but here, relatively close to your home turf, you actually have a pretty wide berth to kind of just get away with shit and know that people from the club will bail you out as long as you haven't pissed off anyone super important. So you don't need to worry too much about street cops and scared civilians.
All right, sounds good.
Remind me again about what time of day it is.
I suppose it's about 1 o'clock now.
Awfully strange that he rolled in with the middle of the day tide, not high or low.
Indeed. Perhaps. This is something more. It's clearly something sinister.
Something more than nature. They did say, yeah.
And
The
we
body
just
has
so
been
happen to be here to we just so happen to be here to find him? Perhaps I'm just a little bit paranoid, but
Or perhaps
maybe
it's
this is a
fate.
message.
Oh, that seems way more likely than fate. Then perhaps I believe we should depart with due haste.
All right, I'll try and
Philadelphia,
see if I
then?
can get this car working. Oh, you'll have to move his legs, actually. His legs are over my toolbox, and I need
I
that for the
apologize.
car.
A question. Should we
An
depart-
answer.
Oh, yes. Should we depart for Philadelphia first? Or should we pay a visit to a local, Wed Willie to ask about bodies washing up on the shores.
Oh,
We do have
goodness.
an appointment after all.
Well, I fear that we might not be able to meet that appointment if we, all get shot.
Oh, I do know a way to get in privately.
Oh, but you know how some of those men have a tendency to prattle on and on.
Very true. They don't stop.
They'll keep you there forever.
Very well, perhaps Philadelphia first. Though I hate... Yes, Philadelphia with a frozen body in the trunk. So long as we're not pulled over, we should be fine.
And as long as it's frozen.
Yes.
Oh, yes. No, I was thinking of the smell. Incidentally, I will be smelling it the entire way there.
Oh, I'm
Darkness.
so sorry, dear.
Oh, yes, it's foul. One of the few, he says, unconvinced, disadvantages of being a dog.
All right. So pop the body in the trunk, freeze it, and off to Philly.
Yeah.
All right,
You-
it's an outing.
Is there-
You
Is
make
there any,
just enough space in the trunk to have exactly 4 seats available in your car. Upon which point Tomasa gets on the roof and waits to depart.
That's fine. Is there any doubt that if I freeze the body, like, it won't stay frozen for long enough, or...
I think. I mean, I suppose there's still room for doubt of just exactly what the fuck is the deal with this body, but I would think
Sure.
under normal circumstances, given who you are and your specialty, that you'd
So,
be able to
I'm
keep
gonna-
something frozen.
I'm gonna tag, ice in my veins, or ice in your veins for that, just
Okay.
cuz.
All right.
Tomasa watches you do your business with rapt fascination. He is very specifically thinks Monica is extremely, no pun intended, cool because the idea of someone inventing any level of refrigeration or air conditioning has monumental, like, possibility from where he is from.
Mm-hmm. You see, before she does it, she takes off like these long, white, silky kind of gloves to do it, and all of the veins around like her wrist are, you know how normally you can see the blue from your veins. Hers are like very, very blue.
All right. Yeah, so Monica freezes the body of Raymond Peake, and you take it with you off to Philadelphia to see this museum. As you pass through, yeah, it's at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, which you soon pull up outside of. Here we are. It's a couple hours later now. It's sort of the mid to late afternoon, and so light's starting to fade a little bit. People are out lighting lamps, and some of the electric lights are being turned on. These newfangled things they've got all over the streets. And you pull up outside the museum. And as you head towards going inside, you can hear just like a little bit of commotion in the lobby. And the doors fling open, and a man steps out and walks past you.
Oh.
A rough, tough-looking, sort of mid-20s wise guy-ass guy walks out of here, seething and mumbling to himself. Marksley, you don't have to roll for this. You know who this is.
Yeah.
This guy actually is sort of one of your, you could say, your targets. He's some low-hanging fruit as you get things started with your ongoing conflict. This is one Zane Saggiati.
I see.
As he approaches, Monica grits her teeth and grabs Marksley's arm. Satsiani!
Oh, heavens, yes, one moment.
Marksley kind of like pulls himself to the side and steps behind for a moment, and then just kind of moves back. And he's just gonna like very quickly stepping past Samasa. He takes off his spectacles, ruffles his hair, and walks out a more disheveled man, and tries to just like blend in. Whoop.
Okay, so you're actively trying to get him to not notice you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead and roll deceit.
All right, yeah. So let's see. And okay. I'll roll that deceit then.
Oh dear, look, that man's hat is too big for him. Look at how frustrated he is.
He's very sensitive about that hat. Please.
Yeah, no, he stalks past you and shoots a glare at you that for a moment kind of makes your heart skip a beat, Marksley, but it's very quickly apparent that he's just glaring at people without and not at you specifically. And as he storms off, you hear him muttering something about that damn fool broad.
After
Well,
they
that could be
pass,
any woman. Women hate him.
Well, I'm afraid nobody likes old Zane.
He like steps back, like reverses his motion, straightens up his hair, puts the spectacles back on.
But what's a middling Sasyati doing at a museum like this? Never thought Zane was one to admire classics.
You know that fellow, Mr. Booth?
Yes, a rather unfortunate man with an even unfortunate accent.
He keeps stepping forward to the museum.
I'm quite curious what he was doing here, but as long as he's gone, I don't think there will be an incident.
Well, that's all well and good. Oh, I'm sorry. You're I'm sorry. Was he connected to any of your old friends in Atlantic City?
Would he be connected to any of them? I don't believe so, since it seems like Moore was different, unless they're all sub-gangs.
So Moore is connected to the Sashiatis at large. You're not aware of any specific personal connection between the two of them beyond that. Zane is sort of... He's the fiery young gun scion of the family who is big on being a tough guy and intimidating people and making people fall in line. Falls short in most other respects. Doesn't get a ton of respect from anyone else, especially the fairer sex.
I see. Yeah, Marksley.
They do business. But that fellow Zane, I don't believe they would have any personal relationships. Zane has quite the trouble with personal relationships, after all.
Yes, he also seems to have quite the trouble with finding fitting clothes.
Tomasa tilts his head very slightly and begins brushing his hand through the bottom of his beard. His oversized hat would do well to sit upon the giant ears of a lemonade-eyed boy I met earlier. It would draw the attention away from his enormous oracles.
I would also do well to sit upon such a hat. Anyway, we should be on in.
Yes, we should.
Marksley begins taking on steps past that point, curious now and more cautious as he enters the museum. Yeah. I would like to, maybe as we go through the museum, attempt to assess what the Sasyati family would be interested in within the museum.
Okay.
And I'd
roll your...
I'd like to also... Well, we'll see what I roll first.
Yeah, so you could roll art if you want to think about it from the perspective of what does this museum have they might be interested in. You could roll contacting.
Could I roll burglary to be kind of me getting in the head of the family to see what... If it's something that would line up with a crime family. And if not, we know that they're after something beyond their own crime means. Like they're working with someone who has higher interests.
I will say you can roll contacting modified by burglary.
All right, so that's a 3. So a +1. I'm gonna roll my contacting and then add a +1 to that. So that's a 3.
All right.
And if that's not quite enough, I could tag in an aspect.
Yep.
But let's see.
You rack your brains. Unless the Sashiatis collectively are moving into straight up stealing art, it's hard for you to think of anything they'd be interested in business related here. And if they were gonna steal art, it's not really clear what Zane would be doing here personally.
Yeah.
So you can only infer this must have been some kind of personal visit for him.
As we step through, nothing I see that would be striking to the minds of a criminal organization in here, and Zane is not one for art, so he was here on purpose, I would hazard a guess.
Are we going to be able to meet up with Hubert here?
Yeah, he should be around somewhere. You didn't have an exact specific plan. Actually, well, it's not totally 100% clear if Hubert is coming or if it's just Perry, but at least one of them should theoretically be here to meet you for the exhibit.
That's fine.
You can, I guess, fate point if you want to declare, oh, actually, we worked out these specific details, and
yeah, I think I want Hubert here just so that I can like get away with not talking and having Hubert do all of my human man
then
things in public.
Shortly inside the lobby, Hubert's waiting on a bench, and sees you come in. Ah, good, you're all here. I think the last tour is scheduled to begin very soon, actually. I've been waiting to get a word in with Sir Guthrie to see if we can get some kind of personal exposition. He stops. Is that the right word? I guess, so that we can see stuff ourselves.
Indeed. Hubert, I'd like to introduce you to my friend, my new friend, Tomasa Jazar.
Oh, goodness, but you look like quite a fearsome and capable individual. He shakes your hand.
Indeed.
You are the man on the picture I saw when I was first introduced over the phone to the doctor.
Yes.
Hubert handles all of the manny affairs that I need be handled given my condition.
I understand. He shakes your hand once very firmly, and then goes back to scowling at artwork.
Oh yeah, I guess I never actually gave you the Hubert handout before. Anyway, shortly after you arrive, and Hubert greets you, an elderly-ish, like late middle-age man, walks out of a back room and appears to be looking around for someone. Ah, Hubert. Lovely to see you again. Is this your tour group, so to speak? Yes, Sir Guthrie. Let me introduce you to, Mr. I believe you're Mr. Booth, yes?
Michael.
Yes, Michael.
Michael Brook. He goes and
sorry,
shakes your hand.
I've got a lisp, you see. Michael Brook. Yes, a pleasure to meet you. This is Miss. He now is letting you introduce yourselves after that quick little follow-up.
She's like staring up at some painting on the wall, just like starry-eyed. She's been just beaming at everything in this room. Oh, I'm an appreciator of the arts is who I am. I'm Monica Gelato.
Nice to meet you, Miss Gelato. And you, sir?
Tomasa Jazar. You're not sure if he said his name or just cursed you in a foreign language.
And, this is my constant companion, Carl. He is a dog.
Monica giggles into her handkerchief.
Yes, we don't typically allow pets in the museum, even on a leash.
He promises not to shed. He says behind Hubert.
He promises not to shed. He is a dog of his word.
Oh, Hubert, you look a fool.
Well, it's a bit unusual, but I suspect this visit was to be a bit unusual anyway, so as long as you keep an eye on him, no one will have to let the board of directors know. He taps the side of his nose.
Of course.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Sir Guthrie Pendleton. I'm the curator of many of the collections here. I understand you were interested in an as-yet unopened exhibit. I received a communique from one Professor Pyson, I believe it was. Yes, Perry, is he here? I have not seen him thus far.
He said he was going to go and get himself some sweets down at the pier. Oh? Shouldn't we have run into him then?
Perhaps we should have. But the pier is
Tomasa,
rather
not
large.
knowing this, Tomasa, not knowing this man and hearing that thought bubble appears above his head of stealing the candy from the fat child and feeling a twinge of guilt.
It was Pierce.
I'm sure you can relay what you see tonight to him, and it will be just as good as the real thing. Hubert's, you're a fine storyteller, yes? He looks down at Blake, in a manner of speaking. Yes, so this exhibit, the situation is slightly complicated, I'm afraid. In order to actually show it to you, I will also need the permission of Professor Rogers. And I'm afraid she hasn't come in today, so I'm not entirely sure if it's my place. She is the one currently verifying the authenticity of the artifact that was brought here. And so we can't start showing it off until we know for sure we've not been duped.
If it makes any difference, I make my living as a man who examines artifacts, often in museums, to gauge their potential.
Oh, their potential value for a sale to a private collector? All right, then.
I also have a good eye for relics, but in a different way.
I'm 128.
Well, you did come on very high recommendation from Professor Python. He didn't state it explicitly, but would I be correct in assuming that you are perhaps members of the Century Club?
Carl wags his tail.
That would be quite correct, Mr. Pendleton. And it is in our greatest interest to assist with any form of artifact hunting and identification. Hence why Tomasa has come here today, and why we have decided to tag along.
Sir Guthrie removes his glasses for a moment and takes out a little handkerchief and starts cleaning them. It's Sir Guthrie, incidentally, but it couldn't possibly make the least difference. Puts his glasses back on. That was a little bit of a flex. That was a little bit of a microaggression. You're sure? He considers for a moment. Yes, well, in that case, I believe I can trust you implicitly. Of course, I'll insist that you leave things where you found them. But yes, I will show you to Professor Rogers' workspace, and he leads you back through the museum, kind of off to a side corridor, takes out a set of keys and unlocks a door on the wall that has an employees-only sign on it, and that opens to a set of stairs leading down. The offices and storage are all down here. I'll apologize in advance for the clutter and the dust.
The clutter and butter.
Oh, it will be fine.
Pay
I
no
can see
mind.
just fine.
We pay that no mind. After all, we're getting a private tour.
He leads you downstairs.
Oh, nice.
Ah,
Clever girl.
So
my
he
goodness, I'll
leads
have
you
to flip
down.
myself around to see all of this.
He leads you down several flights of stairs into the basement, and as you get down here, you can hear a few quiet voices and the sound of wood against wood, like things being stacked or moved or scraped around. And as you arrive at the landing down here, this is a little bit dingy for the historical Philadelphia Museum of Art, but indeed this does appear to be a storage space, and you pass by several workers who are packing and unpacking crates and fiddling with what look to be many paintings and other works of art that are not currently on display, that are covered with sheets and such. Oh yeah, sorry, Hubert's with you as well. Sir Guthrie gestures to the men who are working around. Yes, in addition to our normal business, of course, of exhibiting fine works of art, we also serve as something of a storage area for art of a questionable nature. Either art that is currently believed to be the target of thieves, or art that is suspected or known to be a forgery. You see, often such forgeries make their way into private collections, but sometimes they come to galleries, and when they do, well, of course, it's quite an embarrassment if a forgery is exhibited as the genuine article, but there is value in holding on to them. They can often be used to bait out the manufacturers. So, here you see one of the largest collections of fake art in the world. A dubious honor, to be sure.
Surely.
I fit right in here. Oh, are you interested in paintings? Yes. Painting is perfect.
Tell me, this spot you would have. Would you have happened to have such a recent case of one coming in to seek a forgery?
Not a recent case of a known forgery, but an item was recently delivered to us that raised a number of red flags, not for its construction, but because it conflicts with our understanding of the art from its historical time and place. So much so that, were it genuine, it would be a fascinating discovery indeed. But I find that it's best to be skeptical at first, then you can only be pleasantly surprised and not the other way around. He passes by the workers and gives a little nod as he goes. Gus, Sir Guthrie. Archibald, Sir Guthrie. Victor, Sir Guthrie.
Monica nods to each one of them as he does it too.
So does Carl.
You see later on, when we're identifying the hooded figure, we'll call them by a name, and they'll go, you need to include the sir, and that's how we'll know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he leads you away from the warehouse area and towards a hallway of offices further in the back. Right, now, down here, a few of the resident experts decide to keep offices, unglamorous conditions though they may be, and here you would normally find Professor Rogers. However, she seems to have taken the day off with little notice, I'll add. However, don't allow my tone to off-put you. She is a brilliant expert in her field. Studies a number of the indigenous peoples of South America, and besides which has a phenomenal talent for identifying forgeries from the real articles. I'm led to understand that she has what they're calling now a photographic memory. Although, well, I've seen it in action. It's, it can be a bit terrifying, to be perfectly honest. He jingles around for some keys, and as he gets to the door that you assume is the door to her office, he looks down and there's a package sitting outside. And I see I've added private mail service to my list of responsibilities. He opens the door and takes it in with him. Well, he sets it down on a desk inside. You have the run of the place. Of course, I will check back when you are done to make sure that everything is as it should be. If you'll excuse me, the last tour group is meant to start in 2 minutes precisely, and I must get back up to the floor.
Yes, have a wonderful night, Sir Guthrie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Brooke. Thank you, Ms. Gelato. Is there anything you would like to know before I depart?
Well, perhaps one thing. This new artifact, what was it called?
He takes his glasses off and cleans them again. Well, I believe Lisbeth, Professor Rogers received the artifact from an acquaintance of hers, and not sure I gathered from their conversation what they had decided to dub it. I believe it was some manner of jewelry rendered in gold.
Who was the acquaintance?
Oh, a man. I've met him perhaps once or twice, but not for quite some time. He would come every now and then for tea with Professor Rogers. Apparently, they go back a ways. I believe he's some manner of archaeologist and recently uncovered it on some expedition or another, if, in fact, it is genuine.
A name, Sir Guthrie?
He appears to stop and search his recollection. Bleak? Peak? Something
Raymond
like that.
Peake, perhaps?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yes, one of our acquaintances. Thank you very much, Sir Guthrie. We will take a peek.
I've heard he's in town.
Small world, apparently.
We've already taken a peek, as it were.
That bitch dead.
We've taken a peek. We gave him a rather cold reception.
Why did you say it like that?
Oh, he just says everything like that.
It's true. It is called a Beyblade. I don't remember exactly how they phrased it, but this allowed the Incan people to let it rip, as it were.
They had the ancient spirits of the gods trapped within these tiny medallions. They placed them inside the dreidels. That's
Poor
not
Raymond.
a fucking joke. That happens in the show.
Poor Raymond. Didn't attempt to learn to chill it out max. Now he's relaxing all cool for the rest of his life.
Philadelphia.
All right, so you go into the office.
We're going in the office.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't have a separate map for the interior, but you step inside, and this looks to be a very neatly kept office. It's actually in much better condition vis-a-vis dirt and grime and dust than the rest of the basement area. And there's a desk. There's a number of books. There's a comfy-looking chair and another one in the corner next to a lamp that appears to be for reading. And you also see there is a safe sort of bolted to the far wall. And there's not much out on the desk, but you can see a stack of papers.
Hubert, would you
Yes?
grab some of those papers off of the table and read them to me aloud?
Certainly, Doctor. He scoops up the stack of papers, and one sort of slips off the top as he does. Oh, my mistake.
I'll get that.
Yep, you pick that up. It's a note. Seems to be actually, it looks like a letter addressed to the professor. Hubert starts flipping through the papers and reading off research about various South American indigenous tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Monica, go ahead.
That'll be quite enough, Hubert. Thank you. And Monica, what did you happen to pick up?
I believe this is a letter.
Yeah, so this letter is addressed to Professor Elizabeth Rogers. And as you start reading it, this is this looks highly relevant to your interests. It's a letter that is addressed to her from Raymond Peake, actually. And it mentions that he recently got back into town, makes oblique reference to something that he gave Professor Rogers a few days ago to examine. And basically says in so many words, like, I think something is amiss. Hang on to that artifact and guard it very closely. I need to meet with you in secret to give you more information. Please find enclosed one ticket to tonight's opera, and gives an address on Long Island in New York.
Well, damn. Hubert, we missed the opera.
Well, he takes a look at the letter.
Perry had mentioned that.
Yes, Salome, some new German, I believe, opera out of Vienna. I believe this was to be its first run here. There's some international starlet heading it. It's made plenty of headlines.
You know I don't read the newspaper.
I use it for other things.
When was that letter addressed? Does it say?
There's no date written on the letter, and you don't offhand see an envelope anywhere.
Oh, well.
Michael's just gonna... Michael, yeah. Marksley's gonna look at the box, that, like, package that was there, unless Sir Guthrie took it.
No, he set it on the desk in here.
Okay, I'll take a look at that and peek while looking. While I'm opening it, it seems that our dear doctor, professors, without their contact, perhaps we should go on his stead.
Quite possibly.
Where is the artifact? Tomasa has been very impatiently looking around the room.
If that letter was received, I imagine she has it on her person.
If it is that
She's guarding it
important.
closely, yes.
What's in this box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What indeed? So you go ahead and you sift through the outer layer of packaging. It's just sort of a brown package wrapped up in string, and you open it up a little bit. It's a bomb.
Yes, as I expected.
As soon as you open the package, a ticking fills the room.
Hey, don't touch that!
Okay.
All right. And what is the state to its litness?
Oh, it's counting down, baby.
Oh dear.
This by your estimation, this bomb has mere minutes to detonate.
Yes. It seems as though Zane left a package for the doctor.
Tomasa fucking takes it out of your hands as you calmly tell us about this. And he's just gonna start
We
sprinting
have enough
outside.
time. Yeah, no, to throw it outside. Exactly.
Tomasa, you grab the bomb from Marksley and quickly run out of the office and back into the warehouse area. And as you do so, a gunshot rings out. Someone is fucking shooting at you. Go ahead and roll athletics.
Okay. Exciting. Whoop. Do.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Could be better.
Let's find out if the gunman can be. Oh.
Yep. So that is gonna hit you, unless you want to tag anything else or do anything else.
I kind of think it's appropriate to get shot in this circumstance. Let's up the ante a little.
Yeah.
All right.
So I mark my that's 3 higher, so I mark my
mark your third stress box. Yep. So
Okay.
you the gunshot rings out and you lunge backwards out of the way just in time as it shatters a light above your head.
I start instinctively barking.
So I'm gonna move you guys in here. Tomasa is here, and gonna turn on some music. Let's go with let's go with this one. Tomasa, you get a look at your assailant as you look around. There's a man lurking in the shadows, and he's wearing some kind of strange mask. A still smoking gun in his hand pointed towards you, and we're going to begin combat.
Oh boy.
All right.
And it is just our alertness.
Yep.
2.
Where is alertness?
It would be a skill,
It's a skill.
if you have it.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm assuming it's 0 then for you.
0!
Okay,
That's
and,
appropriate.
That feels
Yeah.
right, though.
And I'm gonna put some things off of the GM layer onto the map layer.
Ah.
Nice.
Nice.
So we're going to introduce a new concept here called zones. Zones are the only way in which space is compartmentalized in combat scenes. So basically, anyone with a melee weapon, that is fists or most weapons, can attack anyone in the same zone as them. Some weapons, like your whip, Tomasa, implicitly have a range that lets them hit someone in an adjacent zone as well. Guns can typically hit 2 zones away if they are like pistols, and 3 zones away if there's some kind of rifle, unless the nature of the divide is such that you don't have a line of sight. So you can interact mostly with people who are close to you. To move between zones, you can do that on your turn by paying this cost that's on the little chevron here. So it's 1 movement to go between the offices or the storage area, 2 to go up to the museum floor, 1 to come down. And when you do that, the amount of you can only move to an adjacent zone, and the cost that you pay is applied as a penalty on the action that you take after getting there.
I see.
So it is Tomasa first, and you are in the same area as this cultist.
Okay. Just for reference, I cannot see myself or Michael Brook on the turn order.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't see them either.
Let me try refreshing. I don't know why that would fix it, but sometimes it does. No. All right, it doesn't matter. I know I.
Okay,
I'm
that
going
must have been
first.
okay. Here, let me re-add you then.
I know I'm at 2 as well, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you see yourselves now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. In that case, Tomasa sees this man and quickly, having. Sorry, how did I get injured? Did the glass shatter upon me, and is that how I took
You
my
didn't
injury?
necessarily get physically injured. Stress does
Okay.
not mean that you took physical damage. In fact, you probably don't get injured for real until you start taking consequences. It's more
Gotcha.
just your luck running out.
Okay. In that case, Tomasa sees the glass tinkling around him, immediately notices this strange masked figure. He takes out his whip and ties the bomb in the box to the end of the whip, and will then whip it at this man's face, going, "Can't you see there is a bomb?"
Okay. Are you intending for the bomb to explode or not?
No, I am intending for
Okay.
it to be an object that is clocking him in the forehead, preferably
Fair
on the
enough.
pointy edge of the box.
Okay. Then, yeah, just go ahead and make a weapons roll.
Okay. By refreshing, I have closed my character sheet. All right, let me roll it back down.
He's
that
going
could
to
be
defend
better.
himself with weapons. He draws an ornate curved sword, and he unless you want to tag something, he beats you by enough for me to introduce a new concept called spin.
Oh man.
Oh no, he's letting it rip.
Yeah.
No. Oh gosh. I don't think I have anything that I can genuinely tag here.
All right. Yeah, he catches your whip around his sword, doesn't manage to yank it out of your hands, but flings it to the side, and you can see there's a little nick in it. Yeah, so he has beaten you by 3 or more, meaning he has generated spin. So basically, the next roll that he or anyone on his team makes in this combat gets a +1, if provided the action can somehow be related to the fact that he beat you so easily.
All right, in that case, I suppose my does he disarm me? Does the whip go clattering?
No, unless it's possible that'll factor into something he does with his action, but
Okay.
not immediately.
All right, well, I'm not going to leave my whip or the bomb, so I guess I am here.
Okay. Markle Brook.
Michael Brook. Michael Brook, there's like a window on this like office space. All right. Like at the door.
The window in the door, yeah.
Yeah. He's going to pull out an evil pistol, which is one of those very long barrel pistols that's totally tied out of windows villainously, and he's going to aim it forward and shoot at the cultist.
All right, go ahead and roll guns.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay. Hoping this works. We'll see.
All right, and he's going to try to dodge with athletics.
Okay.
He does, yeah. He, you take a pot shot, and something explodes on the shelf behind him. He whirls around to look past Tomasa to the office, seemingly now like fully aware, like, oh yeah, they're all in there.
Yeah, Damn, Michael pulls the evil pistol back through the window and kind of ducks behind the wall.
All right. It is the cultist's turn. Or should I say the cultist's turn. As you can see, another man emerges from the shadows elsewhere. That's just going to attach to this group. So there are 2. And the 2 of them collectively act. So while one of them has Tomasa's whip grasped around his blade and prepares to fling it back, another man lurches out of the darkness behind him. Seeing that Tomasa can't do anything to interfere with him, he reels back and he throws something towards the office. And it smashes with a clatter against the ground. It was a Molotov cocktail.
Right.
And a bunch of shit immediately around the office immediately goes up in flame, and you can see them very quickly licking towards the wooden rafters. So that is a maneuver, and he has added a scene aspect.
On fire.
On fire! That is the cultist's turn.
All right.
Blake.
Good God! Hubert, I was about to tell you to stay put and stay safe, but now we have to
I
leave.
needed no encouragement, Dr. Blake!
And so, Dr. Blake is going to unsheath his knife and be like, "All right, Hubert, on my lead!" And I'm going to rush over to this side, and I'm going to, hop along, like I'm gonna hop along the side of the desks, like any sort of desks, side tables, and like shelving units that they might have set up, and I'm just gonna try to run alongside those. As I hit the corner of the wall, I'm going to jump up kind of sideways, hop off onto the other side of the wall, land on another shelving unit, and just jump out from the back and try to stab one of these guys. I don't use my teeth because I don't want to gain the taste of human flesh. And so yeah, I'm gonna run. I am going to. Let me see if I can invoke one of these. I do wish to save my good man Hubert, but I also wish to save my new friend Tomasa. So I would like to invoke man's best friend.
Yeah, since these guys are currently tangled up with Tomasa and you're directly trying to help him, I'll give you that. So you can take a +2 for that, and you'll take a -1 for moving areas before acting.
Correct. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna stab one of these guys. All right, that's a 1.
All right. Well, he'll roll his defense because he might roll negative or he might roll really high.
Fair.
All right. You barrel across several objects and towards him, grab the knife in your mouth and lash out at him. He's forced to release Tomasa's whip and kind of clumsily swing at you, managing not to hit you, but just barely to deflect the knife as you sail past him, landing on the other side so that you and Tomasa kind of have the flank on these guys.
Do I get like 1 on him? Because my total was 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right, I forgot the +2 -1. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, he looks off balance. You have inflicted stress.
Okay. Cool.
Monica.
Alright, so we're in a basement in this tiny little room, and I imagine since it's old-timey, they had a lot of their old pipes and like waterworks and stuff exposed. Am I able to spot any in here?
For a fate point, yes, you can.
I will do this.
Yeah, there are several pipes running along the wall. It looks like her office also serves as like a little boiler room, which must be just the most pleasant working conditions.
Milo Thatch.
Yeah.
So, she's gonna spot one that is like at the highest point in the room, and she's going to use ice in your veins to conjure up a ice spike and just fire it at it in hopes that it'll spray out and get the fucking fire put out.
Okay, so you're attempting to put out the fire.
Yes.
Okay. So out of curiosity, what skill do you generally intend to roll for your ice powers? Is it mysteries because they're quasi-magic? Is it like...
I would say it's science.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, for you, this is science. So yes. Yeah, so go ahead and roll science. You've tagged an aspect, so you can add 2 to this.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so this is attempting to... I'm going to treat this as a maneuver to remove the on fire aspect, which you succeed at doing. You put out the fire, you slash across and get all of the initial fire that was on the floor and in the corner. You can see there are still a few embers licking at the rafters that could develop into a proper fire, but it is not an immediate hazard to you now. So I'm going to replace on fire with embers. All right, and you can move if you want to.
I would say I should probably get out of this room. Yeah. In that case, I'm gonna wiggle my way out the door. I'm gonna wait for a small window and make sure nobody's like shooting at me, but just like kind of little tiny combat roll out, like eh.
Okay. Hubert, seeing you put out the fire, Hubert is gonna gamble on it being safer in here for the moment than out there where there's a bomb and people with guns. So he's gonna take cover under the desk.
Hubert's smarter than me.
Good move, Hubert.
Thank you, sir.
All right. seeing the smoke some of it, or seeing the fire and then seeing no fire, but smelling the smoke, Tomasa knows the scent of danger, especially when there's a bomb on his person. So he's gonna book it up the stairs out of this flaming room.
All right.
And I'm not sure what I should roll for that. Perhaps
You don't have
athletic.
to. You don't have to roll anything. When you get up here, if you want to take an action, it'll be at -2 for the cost.
Let's see. I am up here. Are there more cultists?
You sure bump into 2 people heading toward the stairs.
Okay. Can someone
They
beside
seem,
Arim talk?
they seem surprised to see you already up
Hello.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, Arim is roboting a lot for me.
Oh, not for me.
Not for
Okay,
me.
there. Now you're roboting. All right, good. It's on my end.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, that is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you sound fine.
All right. Man, Tomasa sure comes up here, sees 2 cultists. They are surprised. I think... God, he doesn't want to ruin any of the artwork, as fun as it would be to use the props in here. No, I can't do that. I can't. I feel too bad to ruin any of the artwork, even though it would be funny. I think I'm just gonna. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. He sees them running at him. He is going to try and sort of outstretch one of his legs, and by hooking his foot around one of the partitions holding up a velvet rope, he is going to try and kick it at them and trip at least one of these guys coming at him.
All right. I'm going to treat that as a maneuver. So you're trying to trip this guy and basically get him in a disadvantageous position. So go
Yes.
ahead and roll fists.
Okay. My fists is bad, especially since I just lost 2, but I did do scent of danger, so I'm at a solid 2.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, you beat him by 1. So
No. I just moved, so I lost the 2, and then I regained it back at a solid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you were at a total of 2 after that.
No,
Okay.
that would be nice. I am not.
All right. Yeah. So this guy manages to jump over the velvet rope as you kick it at him. These guys circle you and draw their own curved blades. Tomasa, go ahead and make an alertness roll.
Okay. Luckily, my alertness is good. 4.
Okay. You can see beyond these men into another room where Sir Guthrie is on the ground, apparently unconscious. No. Not our favorite, most likable character.
Yeah, God, he was so
I know how to wake him up. Guthrie.
so vibrant
You
and full of life.
Dr. Blake.
All right. Yeah. So I'm going to I'm going to growl. I'm going to start like growling at them, knife in tow, looking every bit the vicious animal that I am. And I'm going to invoke Mind Like a Trap as I want them to be looking at me while they slowly back into Monica.
Ah, okay.
And
So you're attempting to give these guys the old wamboozle.
yeah, we're gonna give them the old wamboozle, and I'm gonna use my intimidation to do that.
Okay.
And so like I'm slowly walking towards them like
Yeah, just kind of hurting them
beast.
this way.
Yeah, just kind of
Okay.
hurting them, making sure that their eyes are on me. If they try to look in the other direction at all or try to see where they're going, I will bark. And then that's a 5.
All right. Yeah. You succeed easily. So this group of cultists now has the scared of Blake aspect, and they don't want to fuck with you right now. And you can move if you want to.
Nope, I'm good.
All right.
You can leave your friends behind.
All right. Cultist turn. So you shepherd these guys over towards the corner where Monica is sort of combat crawling out of the office and away elsewhere. unfortunately, these guys aren't just heading for Monica. They're also heading for their friends. One final group. You can see over here. Poor Archibald is on the ground. Gus and Victor are nowhere to be found.
Oh, I think they are.
So these guys spot Monica. They nod to their associates over there, and so these two are going to continue moving away from Blake. They're going to move over to the office zone to engage you, Marksley. And these two are gonna skulk out of the shadows and try to grab Monica. So first of all, we'll do against Monica. So this is going to be a might roll to try to restrain you. So you can oppose this with might or athletics to either fight back or squiggle away. Civ?
What? I just got back. I was barely... okay,
I'm
what?
Sorry. These guys are trying to grab you from behind, from out of the shadows, using their might.
Ooh.
So you can oppose that with your own might or with athletics to squiggle away, or something else if you can justify it.
Let me think. I just got back. Can somebody else go ahead of me?
Okay, I can have these guys beat up Marksley first instead.
Okay.
So these guys already had their swords drawn. They're gonna back slowly away from Blake, turn around, and see you there with a gun, and they're gonna lunge at you and try to take you down before you can get off another shot.
Okay, now I do have a question.
Yes.
Is it possible that I could roll to see, as conflicting this, to just see if I could have slipped away before they come to my direction? As a way to oppose it besides athletics, or would that be a little too much?
I'd let you try to oppose it with stealth.
That's kind of what I'm asking. Yeah, if I could oppose it with stealth.
And I'm gonna give you a small penalty because they theoretically already knew you were there since you shot at them.
Yes, absolutely fair. Well, let's see what happens. Wow!
Oh, wow!
Can I tag an aspect for this?
Yeah. What would you like to tag?
I'll be right back. Don't you worry. He totally shot and tried to run. So he will be back, but just along the angle of him just trying to flee as he does.
I assume you're gonna re-roll that.
Yes, I'm going to re-roll that. Yes, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the penalty you had for them knowing you were there was 2.
Okay.
So if you can, then they have a -1 for moving. So if you can tag something for a +2, you will successfully defend. Otherwise, they beat you by 1.
Ah, okay. Yes, I think I can.
Double up on your tags.
Yeah, I can double up on my tags, I think, because I think this would also be a case where I could use low to the ground. Where I could just be crawling around and sneaking out. The Snake Man. That would be 2 uses of my fate, though, I think, right?
Yes, you'd have to spend another fate point to tag
All
another
right.
aspect.
Yeah. I'll do
All
that
right.
then.
Okay, yeah, sure enough, they rush over here like, well, let's get the guy with the gun instead, and have their swords out, and they arrive, and you're nowhere to be found. They look around puzzled. I'm going to compel your aspect, the only liar in the room. You may have successfully deceived them, but they see Hubert.
Ah, I see.
No.
No, Hubert.
So you defended
Hubert.
against their attack, and you get a fate point back because I compelled you.
Yes.
So you defended against their attack. They were momentarily confused, but you are confident that Hubert is their next target.
And then my turn shows up.
Well, there's other.
Oh wait, yeah,
cultists.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, super
So,
fair.
Civ, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So
Okay,
these guys
so-
are trying to grab you.
Trying to grab me? Alright, I'm gonna cover myself and the stairs around me in slippery ice so they A, can't get a grasp on me and trip all over themselves.
Okay. They
Like,
did
you know
have
how,
to-
like, when you get an ice cube and you can't pick it up because it's too slippery?
Ah, okay, I see what you're going for.
It's like a maneuver,
Yeah, sorry.
isn't it?
And the cold doesn't affect you, so you can make yourself slick with no problem. So yeah, go ahead and oppose that 5 they rolled with your science.
Fiancé.
Okay, there's still 1 up on you.
Can I add... Can I spend a fate point to get that?
If you have an aspect to tag, you can give yourself a +2.
I'll do ice in my veins because, like, that fits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give it to you because ice for one, but also because it's a pretty, like, you have to be very confident in what you're doing and calm to decide to encase yourself in ice as a means of defense. So,
Also,
yeah.
she's very not keen on the idea of being manhandled by random people touching her, so she's like, ew!
Okay, so spend that fate point, and yeah, these guys lunge out of the darkness, preparing to grab you, and they both get like a hand around one of your arms. Their feet skid on the floor, and they kind of yank and keep falling forward and appear quite confused at what the hell just happened. You are not grabbed. And finally, upstairs, the cultists look back and forth, and one mutters to the other, "It's blown. Just go to plan B." And this one takes out, readies his own Molotov cocktail and throws it into a room full of precious art behind him.
No!
A room full of precious, wonderful things. And Sir Guthrie. And so, I'm gonna say, well, I guess technically, okay, so he has to roll before he had the spin to help him. It's possible he could fuck this up this time. So, go ahead and roll. That's weapons.
Oh,
that's
no.
That is bad. He doesn't have any fate points to use, so he tries to get the Molotov going, and you see Tomasa, he's pulled out a cigarette lighter and he flicks it, and it's sparking, but it's not igniting. So he's standing there holding the rag and bottle, but can't get it going. He might get it next turn, but for the moment, his maneuver simply fails.
Okay.
And that is bad guy turn. Marksley.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
One, are these all like one unit? Can I attack them both with one attack? Or
Yeah, you attack them interchangeably
All
when
right.
they're a group.
I would like to ping 3 aspects.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd like to ping. First off, I want to ping. I'll be right back. Don't you worry, because I'm coming back. Another one is I want to do alas, he's a hero, because he's about to do something heroic that he could have avoided, like throwing himself in that situation.
Okay.
Similarly, I'm going to use courting with danger because I'm specifically getting myself into trouble when I couldn't avoid it, like when I could just choose not to. So
Okay.
altogether, I think that would be a +6.
And what are you actually doing?
And what I'm actually doing is I'm showing up again to save Hubert by going at the front of the door and just firing my gun at them from behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna roll this +6. Whew.
Ooh.
So, what happens, at least on my end when I approach, is as they kind of shift over at Hubert's direction, suddenly from behind, a shadow is cast from the light at the doorway as Marksley, again, a silhouetted evil form, approaches at the door and fires off a bunch of shots while muttering under his breath, "Oh, the whims of morality, how I hate them." As he goes in.
All right.
Monica blinks in the background. The Nazi fat person.
The rolls, they turn around, alas, too late, and you've already got them in your sights. So your roll was a 9. They defended with a 3, which means you get a 6-point swing against them, and you give them each, casually and coldly, you shoot them each one in the knee, one in the hip, and they both and just go down and sort of flop into the office, beginning to bleed on the floor. They are definitely out.
Yeah. You owe me one, Hubert. He shifts away from the doorway, kind of disappearing behind the wall.
Thank you. Hubert gets out from under the desk just a little and calls after you, Marksley. That was very noble of you, Mr. Booth. You have my thanks. Hubert is going to... never forget a debt. Yeah. Hubert's going to try to return the favor. He's basically going to use the equivalent of comfort or support. He's gonna roll rapport and try to make you feel good about yourself for what you just did.
Excellent.
Oh, Hubert.
How'd that go for him?
That is not a high enough DC to appeal to Marksley's better nature. So you're probably like, yeah, nice, whatever.
Oh no, yeah, Marksley's like, oh, I simply ooze good nature, my dear friend.
I
You
ooze it
absolute
like the
serpent.
goo of the 20s.
That's the name of this paperback.
Tamasa.
All right. Oh boy. I would also like to tag several aspects. Were the stairs frozen? I missed it.
Only near the base where Monica is.
Okay.
Although you can fate point otherwise if you wish.
I will fate point otherwise. I'm gonna go all in on this turn, baby. So I will fate point that most of the stairs are frozen.
Okay.
Which will then, after that, give me a free tagging of that aspect, correct? Yes, no?
Yeah, because it's something that's already happened. So yes, I'm
Okay.
willing to say if you're fate pointing that, we'll call it a scene aspect. You've confirmed the existence of the frozen stairs aspect.
Great. My end goal here is to throw cultists on the second floor, down the slip and slide stairs, and pinball into the remaining cultists. Ideally, I am going to tag the stairs. I am going to tag one of Marksley's aspects, which is low to the ground, so he bends down and tabletops these guys as they fly over him.
I deep bow at Hubert at just the right time.
And you know what? Just for funsies, I will also tag Never Forget a Debt to bring that up to a collective +6. And I don't think it's. You don't roll guns if you're using a gun as a melee weapon, right?
No, if you're using it as a melee weapon, you would roll weapons.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're like bashing these guys with your rifle.
Yeah, I'm bashing them and trying to send them down the stairs at +6 to this, which is good because I needed that 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is their attempt to dodge.
Okay.
All right. You beat them by 5, which sends them tumbling down the stairs. That's you've got 1 point beyond what's needed to knock out these two guys, which I'm gonna say is not enough to also put an aspect on the cultists at the bottom. However, you do tabletop them over Marksley as you wanted. They slide down the stairs like fucking Marv in Home Alone and run into Marksley and face plant into the ground here. Let's see if I have anything to compel. Tomasa, I'd like to compel your aspect, the scent of danger, to produce a slightly more dangerous outcome than would otherwise have happened here. Namely that you get exactly what you want. This guy face plants into the ground, but also he face plants the Molotov cocktail straight onto his lighter, which explodes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Right.
starting a new fire down here.
Could you do
Well,
that?
better than this bomb going off.
Could you do that to compel my aspect of bestial appetite now that there is cooking meat?
Well, I suppose that depends. Do you want me, for the sake of your character, to have you resist the temptation to eat a man?
Yes.
All right.
I want that fate point.
Then okay, I will compel bestial appetite. So yeah, that's what you're gonna have to resist on your next turn.
All right.
And these guys are knocked out.
Alright. I can't also move, right?
If you've already acted, I guess I have been
I think
acting.
you
I'm not actually entirely sure about the rules.
I think he could still move. He would just anything that he would try to do on the other end.
Yeah,
he would probably
okay,
have
so
to
yeah,
wait.
I just wanted to start running out of the museum.
Okay, and you've still got the bomb, right?
I still have the bomb.
Okay.
It's a bomb.
Take the aspect. Got the bomb.
Well, you can take one of my aspects, hopefully.
Well, I start
right,
running towards the entrance.
And we'll go Monica.
All right, I still got what, one guy grappling onto me?
No, you got two guys still down here, but neither of them is grappling on you. They both slipped off of you.
Okay, all right. Shit, I thought they were still wiggling at me.
I mean, they're still effectively in arm's reach if you want them to be.
Okay.
Since they're in your zone.
And we're in the warehouse area.
Yeah,
give me
yeah,
a
you're
quick.
in the storage area.
Yeah, give me a quick description of like what seems like the sharpest like blunt object around here.
You can for free. I'd give you like a piece of wood. If you want something else, you can fate point it into existence.
Okay, I'm gonna say that there is an entire bucket of water from the cleaning guys that were just down here, and she's just gonna freeze it and pick it up and smack him over the head with it.
Oof. Okay. Go ahead and attack with your science then, and spend the fate point for the bucket of water.
7.
All right. As you swing it towards them, one of them brandishes his curved sword to try to fend you off. Very poorly. Thunk! You clock one of them in the face.
Spins it. Woo!
Yeah, his mask goes flying off, and he flies into the other guy, and they are knocked over across the floor, where they slide across the slick and the ice and smash their head into a pillar. They are out. So there is still a fire down here. There is still a bomb on Tomas's whip, and Dr. Blake, there's a barbecue going.
Resolve, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and roll resolve against a difficulty I'll decide to see whether this compels your action.
Let me see if I've got anything I can.
Can I help you?
Possibly.
You
I
can
don't know how that works.
offer your aspects for Dr. Blake to tag if they are relevant.
This is the only relevant one I can think of. You were still people.
I'm still people.
However,
I'll
that
tag it.
aspect describes you, Monica.
That's true.
I'll just have to go for it, and then I will. Let me see.
I'm gonna switch to the last little
Just
phase
going
here. We're gonna
to-
switch to this.
Maybe I could tag
Oh,
man's
boy.
best friend.
Could never eat a man.
I'd accept man's best friend for not doing grievous.
for not
bodily
about
harm
to.
these guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
4.
Four,
Oh, yeah.
that is just good enough.
Oh,
Ooh.
You,
I sit there sort of lost in the scent.
lost in the sauce.
And I like my tail starts wagging a little bit, my eyes glaze over for a moment, and then I'm like, "Oh, fire!" We should be on our way, shouldn't we?
Yes.
artifacts!
Oh, dear. Perhaps there's a bucket of water nearby that we could use.
There was!
Oh, these people are going to die. It would be such a waste. I'm sorry. Of human life.
I can go look upstairs for some water, of course.
You're going to
you
run
know
away
that's
on us! You're
No,
not coming
I'm
back
not.
down here!
I always come back, Monica.
No, you...
Don't be careful not to slip on the stairs, Marksley.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah. Is it my turn? Are you gonna do anything else?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to slowly make my way up the stairs.
Okay. Normally, this would not require any kind of check. Under the circumstances, I'll ask you to make an athletics check.
Alrighty, let's see what that do.
Yeah, that's enough. If you sounded like you're proceeding slowly.
Yes.
So you're gonna get up here with no more time to do anything before your next turn.
Yeah, I do see the fire up here as well, and I say,
Oh dear, it seems that the fire spread through other cocktails. We might want to leave.
Is there fire up here?
Yeah.
No, actually, this guy tried to light one, but that was the one
Yeah.
that didn't go
That
off.
fell-
that
yeah,
instead
it fell
went
down
off
the
down
stairs.
here.
okay, yeah, I thought it was the one with Guthrie. Yeah, okay, never mind then. Cool.
Yeah, he tried for it, but he didn't get it.
No, he's just
Very well.
Guthrie's just lying in there unharmed, but in the Sylvie butt in the air pose.
Yeah, alright then. Yep, I'm just up here now.
Huh. Oh goodness. Okay, all right.
Hubert! Get the mail!
What?
The mail! We can fan out the fire!
Fire!
I don't think that will help, Doctor.
Damn it, Hubert!
You can tag Hubert get the mail if you
And
want him
barking
to do this.
orders!
All right, spend that fate point. He looks
I'll spend
He-
2.
He looks uncertain, but he runs back in here, grabs the stack of papers from Professor Rogers' office, comes back, and starts trying to put out this fire. He's gonna make an athletics check.
+4!
Oh, well, you spent that to get him to do this.
Oh,
that doesn't
that-
mean he's
okay.
gonna be good at it.
That's fair.
Shit!
But he is!
But he is!
Hubert!
Oh my god! He
The
summoned
dog may
all of
be
his
the
strength. He does one enormous flap of this stack of papers that just happens to catch a current of cold air off of the areas that Monica froze and exactly temporarily moves the oxygen away from the fire and puts it out.
The
Oh my
dog
god!
The dog may be
incredible.
the scientist, but man is the one who conquered fire.
I'll never
Oh.
doubt you again, Doctor!
Good! Oh, God. This floor is hot. Let's go.
So everyone else is fine. Tomasa, you got a bomb.
All right. Tomasa is going to run out into the parking lot. If bomb squads are a thing in the 1920s, he does not know about them.
They sure aren't.
So he is going to find the widest patch of grass or greenery that he can, chuck this bomb in the middle of it, and then shoot it from a distance.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and, let's see. What are you really trying to, like, what are you really rolling against here? I guess this is about whether you can dispose a bomb safely, so I'm gonna call this weapons.
Okay. Okay.
All right. You chuck the bomb into a nearby clearing, kind of just like a little outdoor area outside of the museum, and yeah, you get out your trusty rifle and you get ready to take the shot. And Tomasa, you notice there's a small girl sitting behind the bench. You didn't see her at first, but you just chucked the bomb right next to her. I'm compelling your not a people person aspect. What do you do? There's seconds to go.
What is there a small girl outside the museum at this time?
Dark outside!
All right, this counter right here.
Parents!
Oh no. Alright. Tomasa, who is in the sniping position, sees this with his spotter's eye and goes, takes off and begins sprinting. He is going to try and use his momentum, dive roll onto the bomb, and with that momentum, as he somersaults over it, grabs it and uses the what's the word of that spinning around in a circle force?
The centrifugal.
The centrifugal force to whip it into the sky and shoot directly upward.
Shoot it! That's fucking awesome.
Like a firework.
Okay, go ahead and roll, I guess roll athletics.
I believe they call it Beyblading.
Oh, my athletics
I'll let
is
you,
not that
since
great.
you're trying, there's two parts here, which is you're trying to whip it in the air and then shoot it, so we'll call it athletics modified by guns, which I believe puts you at +3.
Okay, well then it's a 3.
Or then it's a
1.
1, okay.
Alright, what?
It's
Oh,
you
it
have
only-
a modifier and it gives you up to +3.
Do you have anything you want to tag?
Okay, I'm still confused why it shakes out that way, but, okay,
Jello,
fuck.
mayhap!
Laser focus. Yeah, no, I don't have anything better. All my shit is so combat-based.
Okay. Then, yeah, you managed to do this. Oh, wait, adds 1 to your 2, so now it's a plus... Oh, yeah, Will's explaining it. Yeah, so you dive past the girl, giving a glare to this tiny child who is in the worst place for no reason! You dive past her, grab the bomb again, tie it to your whip, huck it into the air, and whip out your gun. It's a little off the angle you wanted, so it takes you longer to draw a bead than you wanted. What ends up happening? You fire, you hit the bomb, it explodes a little lower than you would have liked, causing you to be hurled back from the force of the detonation as a cloud of smoke and fire suddenly blasts through the air. So I'm gonna say, Tomasa, you're gonna take a 5-point hit.
Oof.
Okay.
But you are otherwise, no one else is harmed by the bomb, which explodes in the courtyard of this museum.
Looks up.
Wow!
Tomasa is lying flat on the ground, his chest puffing and unpuffing, but his face exactly as static as it is in his icon, looking up with anger at all of his friends.
The rest of you and Hubert all get out here shortly.
Can I say that I grabbed that mask that flew off that one guy?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I would have totally grabbed a mask too, but for more sinister reasons.
Yeah. You can.
You
Yeah,
don't
you
know
can
what
have
I
them.
want it for.
There's plenty to go around.
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
You don't even. I'll give you a tip for going forward. You don't even need to say that you've done that. Later on, you could be like, "Oh, fate point! I grabbed a mask off of one of those guys from before."
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, everyone, forget I said that.
God! Look at this.
That's man.
Oh goodness, are you okay? Oh my! Oh, is that a child?
Wah! She's running the fuck away.
Well, there she goes.
Look at that moon. That is fantastic. Look
What
at
a
it.
stunning display, Tomasa.
I knew 4 o'clock came and went. I forgot that 4 o'clock strikes twice a day.
Oh, Tomasa. So I take it the bomb disposal went all according to plan?
Yes, the bomb has been debombed. We should check on Sir Guthrie, because he was on the floor and possibly dying.
Oh, yes.
He's indisposed, you say? You lick your wolfy teeth.
I just want to know, in this mouth.
Though I should remind that perhaps time is of the essence. After all, our dear friend, that professor, is perhaps also in danger now.
Oh.
Considering she had a bomb delivered to her doorstep and several cultists trying to gun her down the moment we walked out of her office, yes, that makes sense. Perhaps we
Yes.
should leave this museum to the police.
I believe so. Sir Guthrie is fine. Don't you worry. I checked up on him.
All right.
Did you?
I think you're quite right. I'll settle things here. If you need to go to help that woman, I'll make sure Sir Guthrie's all right and try to find Perry.
Yes, indeed. We should also just double check and make sure that our friend in the car is doing all right.
Yes, I had considered that.
Yes, I'm fine.
Oh, wonderful.
I grasp Hubert's hand. I hope everything goes well for you. Stay safe, Hubert. Don't want any more of those cultists sneaking up on you, don't you?
Well, I wasn't worried about it until you said that. But perhaps I should have been, so thank you, Marksley.
Yes.
Can I call you Marksley?
Oh, of course.
Marksley, I look over at him, and I just sit in typical good boy position. Marksley, I don't think I didn't see what you did back there. You saved, you quite possibly saved Hubie's life. I don't know what I'd do without him. You have my eternal gratitude, and just know that I never forget a debt.
Well, I know you are one to repay. I would do it any time, though, debt or otherwise.
Marksley gives a slight nod, then...
But enough of that. We should depart quickly. That bomb will attract the police like
Indeed! Let us be off!
vultures to carrion.
So,
Now,
where are
on
you?
earth did I park?
100% ending on that line.
Yeah.
And so, the 4 Centurions set off for New York to take in a show and perhaps save the life of the only woman who understands the significance of the mysterious artifact for which Raymond Peake paid his life. What awaits them there? What sinister forces are mounting against them? Find out next time on Spirit of the Century, Dirge from the Deep!
Yay!
That was fun.
That was
That was
fun
a
as
lot
hell.
of fun.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was good.
I really like that map format, weirdly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. That just worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
Also made it a very seamless thing. I think it's more seamless for this game than having a battle map. Like the idea
for sure, yeah.
became a grid thing. That's really good.
Absolutely.
Really nice work, folks. That was just charming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for playing. I had a good time. I hope you did as well.